I can barely hear anything.
Good to have you on America's Day at the Races on our Fox Sports 2 coverage. Live look at the Big A, South Oaklawn Park, New York, as we get set for races 5 through 7 to come on this Thursday card. Live coverage as well out in Hot Springs, Arkansas. We have Richie Migliori, Megan Burgess, live on site from Hot Springs as they have, as we do as well, big 3-year-old preps on the road to this year's Kentucky Derby. Gotham here over the weekend, Rebel out in Hot Springs. Greg Wolf alongside New York Racing Association handicapper Andy Serling. Good to see you.
You might or might not be telling the truth. It's good to see you, but it's very good for me to see Greg as I no longer have to host, so I'm happy about that and looking forward to some racing. And I will tell you right now, we've got 3 races left in New York. If you don't like a speed horse, you're in trouble, because it's not just that speed is winning. Nobody's making up an inch of ground.
Maggie T could be very dangerous then.
Yeah,
in race 5.
I don't like her at all on paper. She was benefit of a bias last time, but listen, I mean, it's not the track maintenance fault. It's just been ridiculous weather here. And, you know, when you think about how good a job they've done in clearing things, but here it is 3 days later, 4 days later, and it's just a mess, and it's nothing they can do.
Muddy conditions here in New York, fast out at Oaklawn. Here's what's ahead, presented by Claiborne Farms. 7 race card today, so late pick 3 coming up. We're 13 minutes away from race 5 here in New York. And Oaklawn will bring you races 4 through 9, as mentioned, fast in Hot Springs, and bonus coverage from Turf Paradise, races 4, 5, and 6. Fast and firm in the desert out in Arizona. Race 4 is going to kick off their pick 5. Get signed up, started, play along at Naira Bets. Bet any track, anywhere, anytime. And get that offer you see on your screen, that $200 new customer deposit match sign-up bonus. With that code at sign-up, match 200. Again, right there at nairabets.com. So, Oaklawn, 2 minutes to post in race 4. I missed these. I missed everybody. It's just good to be back. But Megan, good to see you both from Hot Springs.
It's great to see you as well, Craig and Andy. It's a beautiful day here. It's about 70 degrees. You're going to see some horses get a little bit lathered up or a little bit wet on their neck, which isn't unusual. You actually want to see a horse sweat a little bit on these warmer days. It tells you their natural coolant system is working well. And obviously, I'm Richard Migliori, joined by Megan Burgess. And Megan, we got a pretty good race 4 here to start off the card. I thought very competitive. Fillies and mares claiming 32,000 going a mile and a 16.
Yeah, a couple of these horses are going to drop down in class, including the current favorite and the number 8, Thea, who has some of that early speed, as well as the number 1, On My Way to Save the Day. They are both exiting a $75,000 non-winners of 2 lifetimes. So both taking a step down in class, but still have to face each other again. And here with Thea getting the best of On My Way to Save the Day last time out.
I like Thea as well. I mean, she spent the majority of her career on turf. Her 4 dirt starts, I think, are all good enough to win here. And if, you put a line, if you just made all those turf races disappear on her form, suddenly her form looks a lot stronger with those 4 dirt tries.
It does, and I think the speed is going to be key for her here. Last time out, she was just in deep waters chasing a very fast pace against much better horses as she drops down in class. And I think that this is a very tepid field just going over it in general, and I think she's kind of just has the edge. But I will say the number 1, On My Way to Save the Day, if she didn't break from the inside, I think I'd like her a bit more with Christian Torres climbing back aboard. And I just feel like she always runs a similar race. Last time out, Meg, it looked like she was done trying to close at the mile, but she somehow kind of grinded away there late, angling to the inside. And I don't love her on paper. I think she's just kind of gives this same similar performance every time I see her.
Yeah, a little bit one pace, right? She is a grinding type. Those kind you want to put more in the game. You don't want to rely on a strong closing kick because they just kind of stay on. Is it a little bit troubling to you, David Jacobson, kind of having a quiet meet up to this point?
He is. It seemed like he was locked and loaded going into this meet. He had a lot of horses kind of scratch and then come back, and it just hasn't really gotten into a good rhythm at all. He's 5% here this meet, but he definitely knows where to put his horses. I think she's at a reasonable level, dropping in for the $32,000 tag where she has been right there. So she's definitely a game player. But Meg, I want to get your thoughts on the number 3, Catching Heat, because I kind of liked the visual of her performance last time out where she sat off, a slower pace. Blue Heavenly came back to win in her next try, and I thought she offered some value up there at 8-1.
Yeah, and, the flip side of what we were talking about, David Jacobson having a quiet meet, Steve Asmussen is having a tremendous meeting. Everything he's putting out there is performing. He's got Keith Asmussen, his son, on this one. And Keith, nice to see him have a few winners over the weekend. He's coming back off an injury, and I feel like he's really starting to find his form. I think the key to this horse is being able to get forward position. I don't think you want to leave anybody in this race too much to do because I don't think there's a tremendous amount of speed signed on.
There really isn't, which brings me even more interested to the number 8, Thea, who I do think has the most early speed, along with the number 9, Rain Champagne, who's just been cheap speed. The number 9, a long shot there. I feel like just gets up early, rushes up, and completely fades. So if she can hang on, as she did breaking her maiden for 30 at Churchill Downs back in September, she could be a player. As I agree, the speed is not exactly all that overzealous in this group.
Okay, well, they're starting to load up. Race 4, just moments away. Let's send it up to Matt Dinnerman for the call.
Got it. Don't Look Back in T-Total the next 2. Catching Heat to post 3. Stablemate Parking Lot Pours coming up. Post position 7. Bam, 20K later to post position 4. Parking Lot Pours has gone in. Bam, 20K later. Goes it. 2 back, Thea. Now make it 1 back. Rain Champagne, outside post. Waiting for Rain Champagne to come up to the gate. Rain Champagne, go again. We're ready to go. And we're off. Uneventful start. Bam, 20K later, getting to the lead and getting towards the rail early. Don't Look Back, taking second. Thea third, 3 deep. Rain Champagne is farther out, 4 wide. Now 4 runners across the track as they streak into the clubhouse turn. And that early leader, Bam, 20K later, is going to take back here. Thea's kicking on with it. Rain Champagne there to the outside to press the issue. Bam, 20K later, sets up shop right behind them in the 3rd position. Don't Look Back to the outside. Gap of 6 lengths back to T-Total. Quibble to his inside. Then comes Parking Lot Pours, Catching Heat, and On My Way to Save the Day slips inside of that Asmussen pair. Down the back stretch, contentious pace here. Outside, it's Rain Champagne, the long shot. Thea holds the rail. Thea, neck in front now of Rain Champagne. A length and a half to another pair. Don't Look Back. And Bam, 20K later, they're right behind. Those leaders with a half mile to go. Big space of 5. On My Way to Save the Day's on the move. Claiming 5th without being asked going into the far turn. Quibbles alongside of that one. T-Totals come under a hard ride. Then Catching Heat and Parking Lot Pours still at the back together. Around the far turn they go. Thea, narrow lead. Rain Champagne sent hard from the outside. Don't Look Back coming on nicely. Don't Look Back at 15-1 is 3 wide, making a move to come and challenge those leaders. Bam, 20K later is searching for racing room. Nowhere to go right now. Bam, 20K later as they come off the turn here. T-Tolls giving way. They're off the turn. Thea has the lead. Don't Look Back. They're on the outside. Ask for a best now. Bam, 20K later trying to come up the pine here. Furlong to go. Thea grittily holding on to the lead. Don't Look Back. Can't get by her. Bam, 20K later's coming up the inside. Needs to catch Thea, who's still in front, coming to the line. Thea very game today to win it as the favorite. Bam, 20K later, second best. Don't Look Back was 3rd. On My Way to Save the Day, 4th.
And it was the favorite, Thea, getting it done. Took her about 1/8 of a mile to find the lead. She was a little bit keen, but she was game. Fought off all challenges, first from the outside and then from the inside, Megan.
Right. And she kind of was fighting it a little bit early. She looked a bit keen. It almost, you wanted him to kind of just, as you mentioned, maybe just put his hands down Amir Mendoza, because this filly was always, I feel like once she got to the front end, there was that 4-wide chase. And once she got there, I mean, she had the lead, but she managed to finish up the job as the favorite, and she ran well. I definitely think she had no excuse today. She got a great trip and was best here.
Yeah, no, she was best. And, it's a little bit of a pet peeve of mine with riders. Don't get into a tug of war with a horse. You're making them use energy in an ineffective way. You're better off letting them go a touch faster, put your hands down, and allow them to stride out the right way.
Especially when you're riding the best horse. As it appeared, she wasn't here.
And she was, and gets it done. Very game performance, guys, as we send it back to Greg and Andy on the desk.
Yeah, thanks, you too. She wins as the 8-5 favorite in Hot Springs. We're back to New York. Race 5, 6 furlong sprint, $10,000 claiming race, and that gray mare on your screen, the 3. The speed, we talked about at the top of the show, Maggie T, and the ways you said this track is playing today could be very tough to beat.
And one thing you know about Ray Luke Gutierrez, he is going to be as attuned to a bias as any rider out there. And she was the kind of horse that I was drooling at the idea of betting against, because she's totally dressed up by running a gold rail last time. And out of the same race, the number 1 Open Soul Autism off the claim for LK Cantramachi was way against the track in there. So I was very excited to bet her. But then you get a situation comes up because of the weather where nobody is closing at all. And while I can't bet Maggie T, and I think Jackie the Joker will be right outside of her, I can't bet against her because she may be very much with the racetrack. And you can see even the board reflects it because they're betting out right now in the speeds. You know, they're all over bet, but even the betting public looks at her a little bit gingerly, and they're not so sure they trust her, because I could see if she was more trustworthy, she could be 6-5 in here.
Even more untrustworthy as we go to the 6 here because of that bad mud effort 2 back for Maggie T?
Well, that's the thing. Maybe the mud isn't great, and Jackie the Joker likes the mud. She did something 2 back that she never does. She actually stalked and won. She had become a horse that really only ran her best races on the front end. Now, she got a perfect trip per se, but not her perfect trip. She's one that likes to be up front, but she was able to close, and she did it in the mud. So maybe she's the better of the 2 speeds stalking, especially in a wet track. And I think that Ricardo is going to be aggressive and at least sit her close enough to Maggie T. It just makes it a little bit hard. I can't out myself. I want to bet the 1, though. I won't bet her at 7-2 in this racetrack, but I'd certainly play her in the exacta with Jackie the Joker.
And Jackie the Joker, Ricardo Santana Jr. will be aboard today. Right now, 7-2 as you get a look at this 7-year-old mare, 9-time winner. We're going to head downstairs, check in for the first time with Maggie Wolfendale.
Thanks, Greg. Good to hear you back in action as we'll take a look here at number 4. That is My First Love, who's had a bit of a heavy workload as of late, coming back here in just 6 days. And actually, Rob Atras does have pretty good numbers, though a very small sample size. With doing this, he is 4 for 5 with a positive ROI. And last time, she just did not have the most ideal trip or ride. She kind of broke outwardly. Then when corrected, she got a bit sensitive with her head, threw it in the air, and then she was kind of fighting Christopher Elliott while running up on the rail back on February 20th and never really was clear down the lane. Now, she does have a propensity to run well, at least, and handle a wet track. So at least there's that. But the problem is the obvious, is her lack of speed, which I do think hurts her with the dynamics with what we've seen with the first 4 races, Greg.
All right, Maggie, thanks. Post parade here coming up. As we get a look at the 6 there, Jackie the Joker, Jimmy for Oil Barn, and there's Ricardo Santana Jr. in those black and purple silks. We'll kick things off in the post parade here on this muddy racetrack with Open Soul Autism off the claim, claimed away from Chris Engelhardt. It's the OK Cantramachi barn.
To be honest, even at 3-1, I wouldn't bet her on a fair racetrack. But this is a horse that was very compromised last time, and I think makes a great deal of sense, just not necessarily on this track.
Dorth's Soul Dancer was eased last start.
Yeah, a little tough to make a case for this horse.
The confirmed speed of the field. Here's Maggie T coming off a win.
But she's not a horse that loves a wet track, which I think is one of the reasons there's some trepidation. But if she finds herself in front in this track, it may not matter.
My First Love will drop from 16,000 down to 10.
Her last race was bad, but dropping the bottom should help her. She was on a dead rail 2 back, but she's going to be victimized by the bias as well.
4-year-old debut for Royal Event.
I guess she's a little interesting in that she's finally running where she can win by dropping her down to the bottom level.
Jackie the Joker, she certainly could be close.
Yeah, I prefer her of the speeds.
And outside, Miss Lau, who was 3rd behind Maggie T last start.
She's held her form fairly well and consistently in different barns, but she's probably sort of an outside chaser as kind of the 3rd of the speeds.
7-1 from that outside post as we go back to the speedy Maggie T. So here she is, 5-2, and wow, up to 3-1 now. People are very trepidatious, I guess,
Boy.
of that record on this type of racetrack.
I mean, she was what we often refer to as completely dead on the board here. I mean, it's unusual because the way they've been betting today, you know, you look at that third race today where Playa Del Mar ended up 4-5 in the winner even money. It might have been 2-5 and 5-2 had it not been the bias, but because of the bias and the perception correctly that the 5 would be loose, they're just betting the lone speeds, and they're not betting Maggie T, and she on paper is the lone speed.
I send it down to Maggie. I don't even want to use this word as a description because Andy's probably going to get mad at me, but Maggie T, not wet track's not her forte, but for Jackie the Joker, really kind of has been.
Yeah, exactly. It has. And, you know, looking at the racetrack while we were a little late getting out here is because the tractors were really trying to work this track that we see coming up wet. It's usually the case when you have snow and then it's warmer. It's just thawing out. Now, what I can say with my just, brief observations, I'm not riding over it by any means, is that, about 4 paths from the rail, so from the first 4 paths, they have it squeegeed pretty tight and there's no lying water on it. And then the more you move out, the wetter and soupier and stickier it becomes. So it's kind of not surprising that just making up the ground, getting hit with all that mud that just looks like as though it's sticking to horses like plaster, it is not as comfortable to run through. So you can kind of see why speed it has been very dangerous. Now, when it comes to Maggie T, I have no problems. Wish she got a little bit more of a warm-up, but I do like Jackie the Joker here. I tried her last time. Things just did not necessarily work out when she was facing a field that was a little bit tougher than the one that she meets here today. Ricardo Santana does get aboard this time around. And like you said, Greg, she does not mind a wet track. So I've always liked her, and I like that Jimmy Ferraro has her back in his barn. So respect Maggie T, but gonna try here with Jackie the Joker, but late money coming in for the Rob Atras My First Love.
And there she is, the 4 center screen, dropping a class. That 3, again, speedsters not favored now, 7-2. On Maggie T.
Boy, they're betting Maggie too like she can't win, and I don't disagree about the 4 My First Love, but I am a little worried about her last race. She was really ineffective that day, but dropping the bottom, dead rail 2 back, she is dangerous.
See how aggressive Ricardo Santana Jr. right here on Jackie the Joker wants to be, because she is pretty quick.
I agree with that. I agree with all of that, but I can't see Raylu not being aggressive with the 3, but maybe the 3 won't be happy on the track, and that'll make the 6 the speed.
Race 5. Our first live action from Aqueduct on the program this afternoon. Let's send it upstairs to Chris Griffin for the call.
Last to load. Goes in. All set. And they're off. Broken a very even line, and Maggie T has asked for speed. Maggie T from in between horses, now with a head advantage. Jackie the Joker is going to be forwardly placed as right there. They're 1-2. Miss Lau is settled off of them for Delilio Rivera's in 3rd, and at the rail there is Open Soul Autism in 4th. Towards the back end of the field, Dorth Soul Dancer is progressing with My First Love, who's well off the pace in the trailer. Royal Event, 22.51 for that contested opening quarter. Maggie T to the inside has a head advantage over Jackie the Joker. Miss Lau is trying to collect the top 2, is right there in 3rd and switches to the outside. All in at the rail is Open Soul Autism. My First Love is on the move with Dorsal Dancer, the trailer. Royal Event, they reach the top of the stretch. Jackie the Joker has put away Maggie T so far. It's Jackie the Joker who now kicks away. Right to the outside, though, Miss Lau continues to give game chase as they approach a final furlong. Open Soul Autism starts to run on 2. Jackie the Joker has a 16th left to go. Grandstand side is My First Love. Jackie the Joker almost home. Miss Lau chasing. Jackie the Joker will win it. Miss Lau 2nd, then came My First Love, then Open Soul Autism in 1 minute 13.87 seconds.
Jackie the Joker rolls here in this 5th, and Aqueduct goes off at 3-1.
Yeah, and we talked about it before the race, and I guess the public understood. The 3 she can't seem to handle a wet track, can she? And Jackie the Joker just sitting right outside of her, and you saw it in this race. it's like nobody could gain ground. Open Soul Autism was trying to sort of make a run, and she just couldn't make up the ground. And it's just sort of basically a merry-go-round race where you had one speed type that just can't run on a wet track, and that left this horse as a very, very hard horse to beat, Jackie the Joker.
Yeah, I'm not sure if anyone else ever changed position.
No, the only thing that happened was the 3 went backwards. That's
Except
the only
for
thing,
that,
right?
yeah.
That's the only thing that happened in this race. And it as I said on Twitter recently, it's wash, rinse, repeat. Every single race looks the same. This is a situation where, to be honest with you, the track maintenance crew, you notice they had training at 7:30 in the morning on Tuesday after we got almost 2 feet of snow into Monday evening. An amazing job by then. And you can see we haven't had any precipitation since then. This track's just not going to dry out that easily with an enormous, enormous amount of weather. And they'll do the best they can. But right now, it's just a situation. There's absolutely nothing you can expect maintenance to do other than get a safe racetrack out there.
6-7, 4-1, Jackie the Joker. 2 wins, last 3 starts. That's a 10th win of this 7-year-old mare's career. Winning for Jimmy Ferraro with Ricardo Santana Jr. Interstate Love Song will preview the weekend coming up.
Princess of Silmar now takes the lead, 3/4 in 1, 15-1. It's Princess of Silmar, and she's drawing away now. She's opened up a 3-length lead. Then it's Kelly Got Frosty, Let Me Entertain You, Kimono, and Marcelina Doro. Another good-looking effort from this 3-year-old filly, Princess of Silmar. She bounds home to win by 7 in the Busher.
Preview of much bigger things to come. Would get beat in the Gazelle and then pull off a triple Kentucky Oaks, Coaching Club American Oaks in Alabama back to back to back, not to mention the Belding.
Yeah, she really. she was terrific, you know, and racing here in the winter, a lot of people, including myself, and she got picked against her all winter. I think she had one loss. She might have run second to Gazelle, but then she won that Kentucky Oaks, and that was a tremendous field. Now, Beholder arguably ran the best race. She ran remarkably, but Beholder, I mean, you're talking about a legitimate Hall of Fame horse, one of the best fillier mares we've seen in this century, and
Pennsylvania bred.
I mean, and this horse, just a homebred for Ed Stanko. It really was fun, and Ed was here so much. It was really a good time.
This year's edition of the Busher is going to take place early Saturday, race 2 on the card, 1 turn mile, and we'll have Whit Beckman with a couple showing up of Nikon from the rail and Blazing Brat, who is coming off that second on the Sandpiper at Tampa. That was sprinting, going beyond 6 furlongs for the first time.
Yeah, I think it's kind of an interesting race. Nikon did not get the best of trips last time down at Gulfstream Park. She's certainly a contender. I think Current Yield is probably better than her 58 buyer at Tampa, but she'll need to be a lot better than that. Look, obviously I want this horse to do well. The Klaravich horses, I'm always rooting for them. But even if you think the 58 is a little on the low side, she's going to have to run at the very least in the mid to high 70s in this race to be successful. That's a big step forward, but I will say that she is a horse that Chad Brown has been high on. He believes she's capable of running much better. I want to see it to believe it, though.
Would not count out this barn. Yeah, seeing
Right.
that kind of improvement. It's start number 2 from a filly. Meanwhile, as mentioned, with Beckman, 2 fillies in this race. Here's what he had to say about Nikon and Blazing Brat.
We brought her back for kind of 3-year-old debut. Mile we always thought was going to be a little on the short side for her, but she ran a really competitive race, put herself a lot closer that day than we anticipated. Trip was pretty good and, ran a game second and galloped out extremely well. So she's been a slow filly to mature and develop. I had her in Saratoga. She didn't really kind of give us that feeling like she wanted to run that early. Finally got her started at Keeneland. And every race has been, from a mental and just a physical, development angle, she's been getting better and better.
Taking a look at Blazing Brat, first start for your barn. What have you seen from her?
She's just been ultra consistent here. She's done nothing wrong. We got her off Tim Ham. She looked great. We just needed to, just kind of get her in the program. And, she's one that she hasn't run close to this distance yet, but we're hoping she can stretch out a little bit. We thought the mile would be the best spot to start her. At this point, you just kind of got to throw them into the deep end and see where they see if they sink or swim. So we're hoping she swims, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Nikon just beat a neck at Gulfstream in that mile race. And then, of course, Blazing Brat stretching out as mentioned.
I'm going to beg to differ with Whit. I don't think she had a good trip in that last race. She ran very, very well in there. You can certainly watch at home. You know where you can watch it? You can watch it in your Naira Bets account. Just a little chance to do a little shilling. But I thought she ran extremely well. It's a little hard to judge because, trying to watch the first furlong of a mile race at Gulfstream is very hard. But nonetheless, she ran well in there, and I think she's dangerous.
Again, early on the card on Saturday, there's going to be plenty of support for this one as well. Let's go to Maggie Wolfedale. Interstate Love Song coming off a narrow defeat in the Ruthless here at Aqueduct. What can you tell us?
Yeah. That was a heartbreaker, Greg, because she was so tenacious in defeat. She fended off the horse who was pressing her the entire way on the outside, only to be run down late with the horse coming up the, as I would say, the gold rail 2 bits to get the win in that Ruthless. Now, this is a somewhat quick turnaround as we see 22 days after that last start, but my husband Tom Morley is a strong believer in weighing all of his horses, and he has said that she has put on weight, so indicating that that race, while it did look like a tough one, she's only done better coming out of it as far as her physical form. Now, she does have that speed. She will get the benefit of at least seeing what everybody else does from that inside post, and at the end of the day, at least on buyers, she does come in here with the fastest race, but there are some lightly raced fillies in here too that could take that next step forward. Look, I really like her. I obviously am rooting for her. I'm just glad I don't have to talk about her on race day because I'll be at Oaklawn, Greg.
I couldn't not joke with Maggie when she got back from vacation. I said, I'm guessing you watched that race when you were away. And she said, yeah, it was a lot of screaming, why are you coming off the rail? And I don't really blame Ricardo. I think she just drifted a little bit.
Interested to see her come back, and we'll be going a mile for the first time. Race 2 on our Saturday coverage. Road to the Kentucky Oaks as you take a look at the upcoming Oaks Preps. Busher, Saturday, Devona Dale, Honeybee from Oaklawn on their Sunday coverage. Santa Isabel at Santa Anita, and then the Virginia Oaks from Colonial mid-March.
You're heading down to Colonial Downs for that, right?
I will not be there. I
a
would love to, though.
Midwinter
I have
trip.
been there
It's actually
before.
late winter trip. You have?
Yes.
You've been everywhere. You've been to more racetracks than I have.
Producer got us, who had been there all week, got us lost driving to the actual show.
You could actually write a very entertaining article of the various difficult trips you made to racetracks. Emerald Downs, I think, was one of your. Was it Long Acres or Emerald?
Yeah, Emerald was one of the worst of all time for me. Getting out was the problem. Jackie the Joker, $8.42 for a convincing victory here to end the Pick 5.
Yeah, and on this racetrack, she certainly had the benefit of. She's a cool horse. I'm kind of a fan. I think she's a neat horse.
Race 6, it's 5.5 furlongs, rare 5.5 furlong sprint here in this 50,000 starter allowance.
Yes, it is. That should make it even tougher for
Sorry,
the number
5,000 starter allowance.
Wait, how is it? I picked 13 Gs. I'd like to change that pick. I mean, how is Social Hour not 3 to 5 in here?
Yeah, I mean,
He's a low
especially
speed, right?
and just the races, the numbers are huge. Spirit Dragon, though, it gets a lot easier. We're gonna take a timeout. We'll be back. More from Oaklawn when we come back.
$1,600,000, thank you.
You bet with Naira Bets. Bet any track, anywhere, anytime. Download the Naira Bets app to play today and get a $200 deposit bonus. Watch live horse racing. Get expert picks. Boost your bankroll with weekly promotions and hone your handicapping skills with exclusive tips and tutorials. Download the Naira Bets app now. Sign up now to claim your $200 deposit match bonus. You bet with Naira Bets.
Olympiad gets the gold in the Jockey Club Gold Cup.
Have it at $410,000.
There's your winner, $410,000.
$400,000.
Oaklawn Hot Springs is here for when you need to break away, when you want to reward yourself, when you deserve to indulge, when you want to be close to the action. It's all here. So what are you waiting for? Live racing returns with the classic racing season. So plan your stay at Oaklawn Hot Springs and come join the fun.
Welcome back to America's Day at the Races, brought to you in part by America's Best Racing, making the sport easier to follow. Explore stories, betting tips, and race day insight at americasbestracing.net. Beautiful day here in Hot Springs, Arkansas, and we got race 5 coming up, Megan. Maiden, 12-5, Arkansas breds. A lot of ways you can go. I have a bit of a hard time taking a horse at a very short price, which you have one here in the 9, Big Rig Dude.
Especially last time out, that horse was 185 to 1.
Yeah.
And now is even money, which I think is preposterous in this group. I want to go for the fences, swing for them, as you've taught me a little bit, Mig. And I think that this is the type of race you can do so. There's just nobody that has a significant edge. And then I'm being bet on the fact that he's got a lot of experience, along with the number 5, South Fork, who I think is a complete overlay in his 17th try here.
Yeah, I actually landed on the 5 South Fork only because this horse has speed. Speed and stops the majority of the time. But at least I know they're going to have to run where he's been, if that makes
Right.
sense. And
Yeah.
I find that lower level horses tend to get more easily discouraged. And I do believe that he could play out to be the speed of the speed here.
Which is key. You're getting into a cheaper domain, and as you mentioned, they don't like to pass. I'm taking a big shot with the number 8 Endu for the Brett Creighton barn. Jaime Torres getting aboard him for the second time. And listen, I know dismal efforts, but he also draws a little bit better. He's been stuck parked wide in his last 2 efforts, third off of the bench, and I just think that he could run a bit better of a race, especially when looking at his well-beaten, but he was third all the way back at Lone Star Park going the 7 furlongs. I like him here. He draws better, more towards the inside. I think hopefully he'll show a little bit more speed, as gosh, there is not a lot to be had whatsoever in this group, and hey, 41-1 and this spot, why not?
I tell you what, too, the horse actually caught my eye watching him warm up. I mean, really good extension, gathered up well. I mean, I think there are crazier ways to go. And at 42-1, all you got to do is hit one of these.
Yeah.
And you're golden.
Exactly. And I think this is just the kind of fun race where you can do that. I thought the number 1 Polar Wolf taking some money, just I feel like connections, John Ortiz, Shortleaf, a very notable name here, bred and owned there. I think this horse is perhaps probably due for a gelding. I thought he was just a really heavier made guy, and he kind of just doesn't really, he's not really a streamlined sort getting over the surface all that. He moves well. I just feel like he's heavier. He gets the blinkers on. Perhaps he could show a little bit more speed from that inside post, but in the mornings he hasn't shown a whole lot working with some of those other short leaf 3-year-olds, but perhaps maybe he'll do a bit more today, and he will need to get some position going forward from the rail.
Well, like you said, Shortleaf Stable, John Ed Anthony, just been a mainstay at Oaklawn for as long as I can remember. I mean, he's going back to when Joe Canty was training for him, and Eddie Maple was riding the likes of Temperance Hill, who wound up winning the Belmont Stakes in the Travers. And there's a barn on the backstretch named for Temperance Hill. And Megan, on my travels around here, I go off exploring. About 10 to 15 minutes from here is John Ed Anthony's Shortleaf Stable, Arkansas division.
Oh, wow.
And it's a beautiful farm, not very far from here.
They're really great people. Their racing manager, I mean, John, they're great, and really nice to root for here, as they do very well with those Arkansas breds. But swinging for the fences, I think that this is a race you definitely want to seal on a price.
Yeah, and listen, the favorite wins. We're not going to be surprised, but I think this is a spot where if you kind of have a little bit of opinion with a long shot, it's a place maybe to kind of take a little bit of a stand against. Race 5 coming up. Matt Dinnerman, he'll have the call.
Big Rig Dude walking up to the gate. Post position 9. Then South Fork. South Fork coming up to the gate. Stoff in the gold jacket. A few more back behind the gate. Give me a chance. Jones Boogie. And Denali Lightning to the outside post. Denali Lightning, the gray, coming up to the gate. 4-5 for Big Rig Dude, number 9. We're ready to go. And we're off. Uneventful beginning. Denali Lightning on the far outside, up close. Big Country Boy moving up to come and challenge now. Stoff right behind them in third. Jones Boogie to the inside, slips inside of that one. South Fork is down on the fence, just 2 lengths off the pace. A gap of 3 to Give Me a Chance and Big Rig Dude. The 2 favorites race together, 3 from the top now. Another 2 to Hurricane coming. Polar Wolf to the inside, and Do is second to last, and Bedazzling Strategy sent upon at the back of the pack as they go into the 4-turn run. The leader up top, Big Country Boy between horses, narrow lead. Denali Lightning there on the outside. Jones Boogie in third, sent along. Big Rig Dude is moving up 4 wide to come and challenge those leaders. Now 4 runners are across the track as they hit the quarter pole, with Give Me a Chance trying to play catch up right behind them in 5th. Getting to the outside, Stoff is trying to make a move outside of him as they come off the turn. Big Rig Dude on the far outside comes calling for the lead, grabs it now. Denali Lightning behind in second with Big Country Boy. Give Me a Chance coming on into the second position. Big Rig Dude hitting the 16th pole in front. Give Me a Chance trying to wear him down. It's still Big Rig Dude on the lead with Luis Saez for the Greg Burchell barn, and they'll finish it up. Big Rig Dude the victor over Give Me a Chance, then Polar Wolf and South Fork, who was 4th.
Well, it was the favorite, Big Rig Dude. I know you and I were both looking for some alternatives. Well, there was no alternative at 4-5. Big Rig Dude, who had just better buyer figures than anybody in the race, held off the 11. Give Me a Chance with Christian Torres, who had every chance, just second best.
Right, he really did. He just had the edge. He found the right group today on his 7th try, breaking the maiden for Greg Birchall, who does very small barn and only has 6 starters all time, and also co-owns this Arkansas Pred. So smaller, lower profile connections. Nice to see them get a win, and this horse was best in here.
And the one horse, Polar Wolf, wound up third. He steadied a touch mid-stretch as the 11 went on by. But that was an improved effort from him, and another horse that could take a step forward. Sometimes you just got to find the right group to compete with, and the 9, Big Rig Dude, certainly did that, guys, and he gets it done as a big favorite here in race 5 at Oaklawn.
Yeah, huge drop in class from last time out. Deserving favorite, and gets the win at Oaklawn as we return to New York for a rare 5.5 furlong sprint in this 50,000 starter allowance. Here's 13 G's. Linda Rice, Kendrick Carmouche will team up.
I had picked 13 G's, who just kind of, lost every chance at the start, but I'm not betting this horse in this racetrack at 2-1 with a horse that has absolutely no speed. I want no part of this horse on this track.
Let's send it downstairs to Maggie.
Yeah, it does. It seems just farcical to take this kind of price on this horse, but I will say I agree with about everything Andy said, but the fact that it's a wet track I found maybe a little bit intriguing, because this is a horse I go back to knowing at Oaklawn last year when he debuted. I'd written in my notes, kind of looks like a wet track horse. Now, to be fair, that was his debut, and often horses, need some time to develop. He was a short price, so maybe he was supposed to do a bit more than what he did. It turned out to be an okay field overall as well. Looking at him here in the paddock, though, he has really filled out, and he has grown now as a 4-year-old, which I always love to see. As he meets some familiar faces, hopefully he can get out of the gate better, but then again, an inside post isn't necessarily great for a horse who, might not stand well or might not break that sharply, and therefore it leads to, stumbles or just getting left behind. So we'll see if that happens here again. Hopefully it's just a one-off for this guy, as Linda looks to get him at least in a race to have a fair shot at things. Greg?
Thank you, Maggie. Riders up. 3 on the board between 9-5 or 2-1, and there's the now even money favorite, the 4, Social Hour.
Yeah, I'm amazed this horse is not an overwhelming favorite in the doubles. I mean, first of all, I picked the one, obviously believing the track would be fair, not thinking we'd have what's going on today, but also because I assumed Social Hour would be 3 or 4-5. Social Hour is clearly faster than these horses, has been running against better horses, and I just think it's the horse to beat. The 2 is a little dressed up by riding a bias last time, but I thought 13 G's might be a little interesting. The 4 would be, 4-5, and the 1 would be 4-1, and I just didn't mind taking a slight chance. On this racetrack, I don't care at 4-1 in the 1. I'm not betting a horse got to come from 5th. Nobody is making up any ground.
Yeah, it looks like it'd be tough for this one here, 13 G's. Linda Rice Barnes, second off the claim.
Yeah, I mean, there are lots of things to like on a handicapping, but not when your handicapping includes the way the track is playing.
This one should be forward, but has been facing easier company.
I agree, and the way, Manny is going to come out firing. Now, Jamie Rodriguez may as well. I just think the Social Hour's faster.
Cantermachi Barn with Shoot the Nickel.
I know this horse lost an unlucky bob while you were away, Greg, but it was one of the all-time biggest hang jobs to even get there with a perfect trip.
Stablemate, the favorite at even money. Manny looks for number 3.
It'll be very hard. I think the Cantermachis are likely to win a back-to-back race here. Oh, no, they didn't train the last winner, excuse me.
And
2 races ago.
Big prices outside. Here's Seeker's Hope.
This horse is in very good form. Now, he had a very good with-the-track trip last time, but he was against the track when he won 2 back. I just don't see him winning here.
Can be forward, though. And then Skytown, 23-1, Raylu Gutierrez.
Yeah, he's going to have to get back to his very best race to be even a mild factor. I would say one thing. If you are convinced that the 4 is going to win here, let's decide. Is a 4-5 the worst idea in the world? Because it's not just speed that's holding. It's not like horses are picking up pieces.
Yeah.
And this horse is at good form. And you know that Ruben Silvera is going to be aggressive. I'm not in love with the idea, but I don't think it's the craziest idea.
No, not at all. And then there's this one, though, Spirit Dragon, who should be close.
I agree, but is he really faster than the 5, Greg?
Yeah, probably not.
It's close, right?
Yeah.
I can't bet a horse like Spirit Dragon. This to me, this horse is as dressed up as you can be by running with the bias last time. But to be fair, he ran a big figure 2 back as well. So maybe he's just a great
back-to-back figures where, yeah, his basically run the same race, strong race for the level, but now it's going to get tougher, and there's other speed to contend with.
Yeah, I agree. But, you know, the way the track's playing, he could certainly be part of it. He could just sort of be another merry-go-round type race, be the 6th merry-go-round race today.
Here's Shoot the Nickel, the stablemate to Social Hour, and this was back on February 19th, missed by a nose to 10 Cent Town.
I had bet him this day, and a good friend of mine had bet him too, and he's been betting a lot of horsemen running second lately. We've all been there and been frustrated, and after the race he said, I just lost another photo. And I said, other than the fact that you're going bad, which I understand, this was not a tough beat. I mean, it was ahead, Bob, and you're going to see it. He had it before the wire. He had it after the wire. But, I mean, he couldn't have had a better setup sitting behind. You thought he was going to win for fun top of the stretch, and he just hung when he got there. So he should have won that race, and I won. He's got absolutely no speed. I wouldn't bet a nickel on him on this racetrack.
Prices from Oaklawn, the favorite, big rig dude with that odds-on victory. Let's go back downstairs to Maggie.
Yeah, taking a look here at the 2 likely speeds. We'll begin with the inside with number 2, Spirit Dragon, who's looking for his 3rd win in a row, yet again, for another barn, as Antonio Arriaga takes over training this guy who, throughout the year and throughout, you know, his recent form cycle, has just continued to improve, at least physically, each and every time he's led over. He puts on weight, he gets stronger behind, he starts to move better behind. We'll see how he negotiates the wet track. Those front reps do go on, back on, I should say, for this effort here over the sloppy, muddy going. So we'll see what he does. It just feels like Social Hour maybe a little bit more dependable just because he has a bit more form to go on. He looks great here. Physically, he really caught my eye in the paddock. He did get a decent warm-up here beneath Manny Franco, who we know is aggressive. So I took the 4-5 favorite here, Greg, but I don't think he'll have the easiest of times with the presence of Spirit Dragon.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting with that one in the mix, the 2, to see how the speed shapes up early on.
Yeah, I think the 4 is just faster, but you are going to see aggressive riding, and if you're a rider out there, you just have no choice. And let me be clear, these are picks I made in advance, and I can't change my picks. They're out there for the public, but I'm not betting the 1 here. I mean, I was hoping this would be the odds disparity. On a fair racetrack, I would have no problem betting the 1. On this racetrack, I want no part of them.
That man right there, Manny Franco, on board, the even money favorite, looking for his 3rd win on this Thursday card. On the short-priced favorite. We're set for the 6th. Let's go upstairs. Chris Griffin, the call.
Skytown goes in. All set. And they're off. Off slowly to the inside with Spirit Dragon and also 13 Gs. The speed is to the outside here from Seeker's Hope is challenging Social Hour, and these two find the top. It's now Social Hour with a neck in front. Seeker's Hope is right there, and they speed towards that turn together. Towards the inside, it's Spirit Dragon and Jamie Rodriguez trying to keep up here at the rail from off the pace in 3rd. To the outside of that rival comes Skytown. Just behind them is Shoot the Nickel, and 13 Gs is the trailer, 22.26 as they zip through that opening quarter. Social Hour has put away Seeker's Hope for now as they approach the top of the stretch. Social Hour has the lead. Seeker's Hope continues to give chase, trying to run on towards the inside. That's Spirit Dragon. Center of the racetrack, here comes Shoot the Nickel. Shoot the Nickel is coming after Social Hour, who still has a comfortable margin with a furlong left to go, but Shoot the Nickel's getting closer. Shoot the Nickel down the center of the racetrack is coming after the stablemate. It's Social Hour to the inside. Shoot the Nickel to the outside. Cantamachi 1-2. It's gonna be a photo. Tight photo for the win. Social Hour and Shoot the Nickel. Spirit Dragon finished 3rd, and Seeker's Hope in 1 minute 5.54 seconds.
Stablemate made it awfully close at the finish here, trying to run down this speed. Was it Shoot the Nickel to 3, or did Social Hour hang on?
Shortest race today, and the first time somebody made a real move. Now, they were moving up front, 22-1 the first quarter, and you see the toll it took on the number 5. but I don't even know if this angle is fair. So I'm gonna. I don't trust that angle. So I have no idea what that means. I'm sorry, guys. We need to see the actual pan of the race. Thank you, to be able to tell, because that angle is not a true.
Even money on the 4, who's on the lead right now. 5-1 on the stablemate to the outside. Wow.
Yeah,
let's look down the stretch here.
And it is extremely close, but they posted it. 3 shoot the nickel. He hung last time. He got up today. I'm sure my friend who bet him last time is very happy. Wow. I could never have bet this horse.
3, 4, 2, 5. And for the first time today, someone coming from off the pace, making up ground to win.
And even with that pace, really nobody else gained any ground. You know what I mean? This is the only horse that made a run. He gets a big check mark for that. And it's the first time we've seen it. Fast pace or not, it's the first time we've seen a horse make up the run. Wow.
5-1 upset. Stablemates run 1-2 for the Cantermachi barn. It's Shoot the Nickel, winning for just the 3rd time, 17 career starts, just up in time with its 5.5 furlong distance. Back with you on our Fox Sports 2 coverage. And it is Shoot the Nickel, upset from off the pace, a rarity on this Thursday card to get the win here in race 6.
This is the first time today that any horse has made up significant ground, or any ground really whatsoever. Sort of amazing. We'll see if things change a little for the last race, but I mean, listen, Scotia Lauer ran well. I just think this horse ran very, very well, because you watch the race, everybody else was sort of running in place, so it's not like the race was falling apart.
No, not at all. Yeah, the 4, the 2, the 5, all kind of running in place. 4 maintaining that advantage, except to the stablemate. Shoot the Nickel, making up all that ground. That's how close it was late. And you, certainly would not think At 5.5 furlongs, that would be the race someone's going to make up the ground to run somebody down.
Right. I mean, it's this is what makes the game so interesting, but also sometimes frustrating. If you're somebody that said, I'm just going to single social hour, you're probably one of many people going, sure, one time I needed a speed.
Please tell me your friend who bet shoot the nickel last time
He just
played this horse back today.
He just texted me. Let's see. He said, I'm glad I'm not paying attention.
Oh, no. $13.02 for the win.
It's a tough game.
Race 7, 6.5 furlongs. $40,000 claiming racehorses who have not won 2 lifetime. And Southeastern, Brad Cox will have Flavia Pratt aboard. Big maiden win. 2 starts back and is going to face easier on the drop down.
I agree, and I picked him second. I prefer the one, though, Merciless Annihilator, who I think should be the speed, but we'll see.
9-2 on that Rail Runner. Our program brought to you in part by legendary Claiborne Farm. 100 years of doing the usual unusually well. So we'll get to this 7th race, which, by the way, is going to close out our action in New York today, but plenty more to come from out in Hot Springs, where we're approaching the 9-minute mark to post in race 6 at Oaklawn Park. We'll get back to the Mig and Megan for this entry-level allowance, mile and a 16th coming up when we return.
You bet with Naira Bets. Bet any track, anywhere, anytime. Download the Naira Bets app to play today and get a $200 deposit bonus. Watch live horse racing. Get expert picks. Boost your bankroll with weekly promotions and hone your handicapping skills with exclusive tips and tutorials. Download the Naira Bets app now. Sign up now to claim your $200 deposit match bonus. You bet with Naira Bets. This weekend on America's Day at the Races. Saturday, catch Aqueduct's Gotham, a Kentucky Derby prep, plus Lafitte Pinkai and Maggie Wolfendale live from Oaklawn Park for the Razorback Handicap.
And they're off in the Razorback.
Then Sunday, special coverage of Oaklawn's Rebel, a key Derby prep, and the Honeybee is a prep for the Kentucky Oaks. Saturday's coverage begins on Fox Business Channel 3:30 p.m. Eastern, Sunday 2 p.m. Eastern on FS2.
It's America's original sport, and no one covers it better than americasbestracing.net. From the sport to the lifestyle, the best races, horses, and destination venues, cocktails, gambling, fashion, and more. americasbestracing.net is a sport for you.
Good to have you with us on our Thursday coverage here on Fox Sports 2 of America's Day at the Races. We are at Oaklawn. Good race coming up here in the 6th. Mile and a 16th is first level allowance condition, where Lonnie Briley of Cold Battle fame from last year's Triple Crown Trail, winner of the Rebel, has probably the horse to beat right now, Floating Beauty, the 5.
Yeah, I agree. I think the 5 and 6 do look like the biggest players in this race.
We'll get to that one in a moment. I'm going to start off the post parade here with this one. Vino Tiempo, as they get set to make this turn. Horse actually ran pretty big last time out, but comes from so far out of it.
That's exactly my problem. I agree. He is coming off of a good effort. He's got some talent, but he has less than no speed. Thank you.
12-1 on this Vino Rosso filly for Tom Vance. 2 is scratched, the 3 carries Kiss, completely different running style to the 1.
Right, she's the polar opposite of Vino Tempo you're looking at right now, whereas Carrie's Kiss is the lone speed in this race. And I gotta tell you something, other than the last race by Carrie's Kiss, where the other speed finished 4th, she's been in great form. So if you can make an excuse for her last race, you could do worse than throw her in a 7-1.
Here's Matt about Marie, just claimed now the Ike Green barn.
Yeah, not a barn that wins a particularly high percentage and going to have to improve to beat this field.
Here is Lonnie Briley's Floating Beauty.
I think in this field that she can be a little bit closer, and Christian Torres needs to do a good job of that.
Colonial Rose, it's the Norm Cassie barn.
Yeah, and she has enough speed to at least be in a good stalking spot. She's probably been facing some tough fields.
Lobby Rendezvous. 10-1.
I couldn't make a case for her. I thought even her best race was a notch below.
Lolo Le Plume comes in from the West Coast.
Yeah, Bob Hess bringing this horse in where she's been running fairly well.
Yeah.
She's not impossible.
And Crimsonite will make her 4-year-old debut. Steve Asmussen with son Keith aboard.
She's got one race, 3 back, that makes her a possible contender. Other than that, not so sure. But at 11-1, I wouldn't argue with somebody who thought she had a chance to get a piece.
What an incredible year and story it was last year with the man standing by with Megan Burgess.
Well, I always love catching up with Lonnie Briley, of course. Historic weekend last year, Rebel weekend upon us again. But the number 5 Floating Beauty is just such a cool customer, really cool mare. First or second her last few outings. But how has she been able to come into herself? And how have you seen her be able to kind of come into this best form that she has as of late?
Well, she's got a big long stride. I mean, 27.6 foot stride, and just kind of a later matured mare, and she loves the distance. And I ran in a little stakes at Delta. She'd run second, just run out of room, and then I ran in a allowance race. She won it. Then I came here. She run second, and I went back to Delta in the freeze, and she won. And I came back here. She run second. So we'll see what happens today, And they got a couple of horses I'm kind of worried about, but. She runs a race. She'll be tough. Yeah.
She will be tough. And you mentioned that this was a little bit earlier than you perhaps anticipated you'd want to run her.
Yes, they had a same race in about a week, and I was scared if this one went, the other one might not go. So I went ahead and put in this one. So see what happens.
We will, but we have to talk Cold Battle and just the obviously a huge storyline last year, winning the Rebel. It's Rebel weekend again now, and you have pegged him as probable for the Oaklawn Mile. Is still that the plan for him?
Right, yes. I had planned for the Oaklawn Mile and from the start, and then I missed a couple of works with the freeze we had, but he's training well, and he worked 5/8 this morning and didn't even wet his tongue, just like it was nothing. So we'll see. It's getting close, and we'll see what happens,
Always such a cool horse to follow, Lonnie. Thank you for the time, and best of luck here.
Thank you very much.
We'll see Cold Battle approaching the Oaklawn Mile later on this meet, Greg, as he cuts back in distance. I, for one, am excited to see him do so.
Yeah, I think we all are be excited. 4 wins in a row last year. Springboard Mile, Smarty Jones, Rebel among them. He was an incredible story. Lonnie Briley kind of jumped onto the scene, and it's fun to see these, not just the big names we're used to seeing year in, year out, but some of the smaller outfits get a chance.
I think it's one of the nice things every year on the Triple Crown Trail. There's always sort of one, you think of, obviously we didn't see him think about it on the trail, but then Rich Strike's connections, with him winning the Derby and getting to know some people who are more low profile, and somebody like Lonnie Briley, who I got to say, he always comes across like you really would like him if you knew him when we interview him.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, looking forward to seeing Cold Battle back. For now, it's his 5-year-old mare, Floating Beauty, the 5, who looks imposing, in sharp form, and the one to beat on the board. We're looking at the 9 right now. That is Crimsonite. Steve Asmussen barn, 4-year-old return for this filly. She would need to move forward, but it's within the realm of possibility, isn't it?
It is, but this is exactly the kind of horse you don't, at least to me, want an outside post with, right? And I know it's only post 8, but they're going to hit the turn pretty quickly because she's a tertiary speed. And I think the 4, Mad About Marie, has a similar amount of speed, and even horses like the 5 and 6, you'd have to think they want to get position forward. So can Carrie's Kip sort of get herself, or Crimsonite, get herself over where she can be in contention? It's not going to be easy.
This is the one they're all going to be trying to chase down, though. Carrie's Kiss, she is quick, but all those runner-ups, 6 seconds in 12 career starts, is that a big concern?
Yes, no question about it. And when you look at it, her one that she has that win at even money, so she won when she was kind of really supposed to. Having said that, she's 6-1. My problem is I can't make an excuse for her last race, and I realize it was a pretty strong pace. But the horse that she was dueling with, I believe, finished 4th. So it's not like the race totally fell apart. Having said that, there isn't anybody in this race that's going to be able to force her, in all likelihood, into that kind of pace last time that she had last time.
6-1 right now. Let's send it back to Hot Springs.
Yeah, thanks, guys. And as far as the race goes, Andy, the 3, Carrie's Kiss, did not have any visible excuses, but she did act up in the paddock and saddling. And watching her today, they saddled her outside in the winner's circle. She's acting so much better. She's focused, and I wind up picking her because I think she gets loose and gets comfortable here.
I agree with you. I did opt for the number 5, but I agree with everything you just said. She has a tendency, she has all that speed. It can kind of bubble over with her in some of her prior efforts, and that's exactly what happened with her earlier this meet. But I was, as you mentioned, she got out of that claustrophobic paddock, and she was able to be a little bit more freer, and I think that I agree with you there. The number 5, Floating Beauty. Listen, I know she seems obvious on paper. She takes turns either finishing second or first in her last few starts, but I think she's going to be tactically met. I find she's just been running against better. And last time out, she was shuffled back, but it's because Christian read the race right. That was a very fast pace early, and I think it was exactly what she needed. But she has shown the ability, Mig, to be way more tactical in a slower setup, and I think Christian knows her and really likes this this mare, as we mentioned with Lonnie Briley. She's just gotten better with age.
Yeah, absolutely. She makes a lot of sense. And last time, 46-3. I don't foresee them going that quickly today. You had a little bit of interest in the 7 at a good price here, Lobby Rendezvous.
I just love that she's put on some weight. She was a bit under. I just felt like she's a really stretchy, rangy filly, just going back through notes at Saratoga when she actually broke her maiden there over the summer. She's just really filled out to me and put on some weight, which is really what I wanted her to do. And I don't think she ran badly last time out, closing on a very slow pace where Carrie's Kiss, to me, didn't have a whole lot of excuses that day. Zach Ruda came back to regress out of that effort. It didn't run as well in the next allowance try, but Lobby Rendezvous, I thought was the horse out of that race that I wanted to bet back. Especially, I think she'll get a bit better of a pace. I don't think they'll go as slow as 49 in here.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to get that kind of pace. What about the Southern California shipper for Bob Hess, Lolo LaPlume? She should be well placed from the start.
I do too. She's got forward tactical position. She ran solid off the freshening last time out, where Nafisa came back to win the Grade 3 La Canada with an 83 Buyers speed figure, and she was very sharp in the paddock. She really gives me the indication. I think she'll be more forwardly placed, sitting just off the heels of Carrie's Kiss, and I also think Mad About Marie will be up there, of course, forwardly placed.
Well, I think we got a real competitive, good group here. Like I said, I landed on the 3, Carrie's Kiss, because I just like the way she's acting, and I do think that she could get comfortable. I don't foresee them going as fast as she had to last time to be on the pace. And Luis Quinones having a slow meet so far, but he's a guy that had success with her. In fact, one of her 2 wins came under Luis Quinones. And I'm not crazy about the 6 seconds, but maybe it'll be 3 wins, 6 seconds in a few minutes. I'm hoping anyway.
Absolutely. We'll see how it shakes out. I thought this was a really strong group, Meg.
Okay, they're loading up. Matt Dinnerman.
Lobby Rendezvous going into the gate. Here's Floating Beauty coming up. 2 back, Lolo LaPlume. And to the outside, Crimsonite. Here's Crimsonite. We're ready to go. And we're off. Mad About Marie gets the first call. Carrie's Kiss, per usual, showing her customary front-running speed. She's on the lead here. Mad About Marie in second. Colonial Rose makes her way into third. And then Floating Beauty, who's taken back to fourth going into the turn. Vino Tiempo on the rail joins her. Lolo LaPlume off the speed. She's 6 from the top early. A length better than Lobby Rendezvous, and the gray Crimsonite drops to the rear as they make their way around the clubhouse turn. Not a fast pace at all here, set by Carrie's Kiss. Loose up top. A length and a half in front, maybe a length and 3/4. Mad About Marie a little bit closer, Joaquin, and there she goes to apply some pressure on Carrie's Kiss. Only leads by a half length now. Mad About Marie, they're on the outside hounding. Length and a half to Colonial Rose. She's shown reign in third. Vino Tiempo to her inside. Floating Beauty biding her time in the 5th position. 4 off the pace. Lobby Rendezvous in the purple getting a little bit closer on the rail. And then Lolo LaPlume on the outside, still second to last. Crimsonite has yet to pass a runner as they go into the far turn. That tempo really quickened in the second quarter mile into that turn. The pacemaker carries Kiss, neck in front. Now it's a half length. Mad About Marie shoved upon from second. Carries Kiss, opens up the lead to 3/4 of a length now. Mad About Marie is second. Colonial Rose feels the stick, 3 behind. Vino Tiempo in an all-out drive. Floating Beauty is 5th, needs to get going as they swing off the corner here. Carries Kiss, cuts the corner. Mad About Marie running a mighty race on the outside at a price 24-1. Mad About Marie. Colonial Rose down the center of the track trying to reel in Mad About Marie, who's got the lead. Mad About Marie, Amir Mendoza hitting the 16th pole clear. Colonial Rose second. Floating Beauty's finding her best stride late, but it might be too late here. Mad About Marie for the Ike Green Barn's going to spring the upset as the longest shot in the race. Mad About Marie gets it done. Colonial Rose second, then Floating Beauty and Carrie's Kiss.
Well, Mad About Marie, claimed for $10,000 last time by Ike Green. Just blew the doors off him at the longest price in the race under Amir Mendoza.
She wasn't impossible. I wrote down, she runs well fresh. She always puts her best foot forward off of a bit of time, which she did get nearly 2 months off from that last performance when she was claimed for $10,000. Listen, I thought she was very hard to make on paper in this specific group where a lot of these horses have been running well against each other, these very similar, familiar allowance type fillies, but she ran well up on that. It wasn't a slow pace, it wasn't a fast one. It was kind of moderate to modest tempo there. With Floating Beauty just kind of grinding along, best strides late, but it was all Mad About Marie on the class hike and ran her career best.
She really did. Claimed for $10,000 last time, takes down the lion's share of $125,000 purse
Wow.
here. That's a nice return on investment.
Little bit. Nice little paycheck after a $10,000 wager. Wow.
Well, they must have saw
I'd like to
something
do
they
one of
liked.
those one day.
You can do that every day. And once in a while, it'd be a good thing. Well, we're going to take a quick timeout, and we'll be back on the other side of the break with a lot more great racing action from Aqueduct as well as Oaklawn Park.
Back with you on our Fox Sports 2 coverage and the finale from New York on this Thursday card. 7th from Aqueduct, $40,000 claiming race, non-winners of 2 lifetime. Sprinting 6.5 furlongs, and there is the back-to-back reigning Eclipse Award winning rider, Flavien Prat. He's on the favorite Southeastern.
Yeah, I'm not really knocking him. Here's a problem with him, though. He's cutting back from mile races to 6.5 furlongs. And while he's been a bit forward at a mile, that's not sprint speed. And that's going to work against him. And I think the horse who's also 5-2, or now there's 3 5-2s, Reside, has no speed at all. And the one is nothing but speed.
To do a double take, make sure we weren't at Oaklawn. This is Fleury Racing Stables and Brad Cox, obviously that's State and Fleury, who operates those parking lots just outside of Hot Springs.
How did I not know that?
And yeah, they run a lot there together at Oaklawn, but teaming up here in New York. Here's the one, Mercy's Annihilator.
I just think that Kendrick's got to be aggressive and try to wire the field.
Next door, Reside, Amelia Green, Manny Franco.
I mean, the horse from a speed figure standpoint is supposed to improve, make his viewed in June, but Mike Rapoli, Todd Pletcher, firster in a 5-horse field that was 7-2.
Third straight horse at the same price here on the board at 5-2. Here's Pratt on Southeastern.
I get it, but I don't love this horse on this track.
5-1 on Mo Spice, Linda Rice.
Claimed away from Brad Cox, a horse that really beat a very weak field last time.
It's a decent appearance on the warm-up, though. 23-1, biggest price on the board at Miami Cas.
Yeah, the good race at Penn National, where form rarely gets duplicated, wasn't even good enough to win here.
And Cantor Machi Barn just ran 1-2 with Escape Hall.
And also faced better horses last time, but did break its maiden at 2-5 in a maiden 30. This is a tougher bunch.
4-1. Jamie Rodriguez will be aboard. Second off the claim, claimed away from George Weaver for the Cantor Machis. 2 minutes to post here in this New York finale. Let's go back to Southeastern, who has become a favorite again. As you get a look at this 3-year-old son of Charlatan right there with Pratt. This was back on January 2nd, the 3-year-old debut.
One thing that Flavien Prat can't do is make a slow horse faster early. And I'm sorry, but stretching out from, is cutting back from mile races where you've got a horse in Merciless Annihilator who chased wide against a gold rail and has shown superior speed in his races. This horse is just not fast enough to keep up with that horse. From a talent standpoint, he could beat him. On a fair racetrack, I certainly would have no problem saying he's one of the horses to beat. I just worry on this racetrack where we did see a horse close last race, but it's the only horse that's been able to make up ground all day. Is it possible as the day wears on and the track maybe drying a little bit? And I don't know about you, Greg. Looking at it, it looks like it's getting a little bit drier out there, a little bit. Maybe it'll change a bit, but I don't know. It's not like the race fell apart. It's almost like one horse ran an aberrant race last time.
No one else made up any ground except for that winner. Minute to post coming up. Let's go downstairs to Maggie.
We'll check in with the layoff runner. That's number 2, Reside in here as Amelia Green takes over training this new gelding, who also gets Lasix for this 3-year-old debut. Now, a horse that I didn't particularly love in the paddock, first time out, was able to overcome a slow start while circling the field 4 to 5 wide, and was persistent in wearing down the leader late in that early 2-year-old form. Really hasn't filled out or grown or changed much at all since then, but does come back looking incredibly fit, is moving very well over this surface, and you can't deny how well Amelia's barn is going right now. So I do like the warm-up that Manny Franco gave Reside. We'll see if he can show any more speed than what he did first time out. Southeastern is turning back. While physically I like this turn back because he's a horse that has a really well developed hind end and engine to him, he's just so laid back, and I kind of understand what Andy's saying. It's not like he's going to suddenly be able to make this horse faster than what he is with this turn back in distance, and that just plays against this racetrack. Well, from a current Brad Cox runner to a former one, number 5, Mo Spice, I admit, I've kind of had a thing for this horse throughout his career. He always makes such a good impression in the prelims, and looking at him, he has those small cuppy feet that generally do run well and move and cut through a surface like this. So yet again, Greg, I'm wooed by his appearance. I know he has to step up his game. First off the claim for Linda, though.
Yeah, he really did look good. Warming up 5-1 right now. Could we possibly have back-to-back 5-1 upsets here on a day that's been incredibly formful? Just won at least showed last time out, can be forward.
Yeah, I think the 1 is supposed to be very tough on the front end here, and I think 5-2 is a fair price. I actually bet him, so he'll probably get left in the gate.
Finale on this Thursday card from New York. Chris Griffin, the call.
Escape Hall, last to load. Goes in, all set. And they're off. Speed from in between horses. Most Spice right out towards the front with a head advantage, but they are tightly packed. And here comes Merciless Annihilator to the inside. Right there to challenge is Southeastern in the purple cap, and Southeastern with a nose in front. Merciless Annihilator will not allow for an easy lead and a pace duel on the front end, and these two are head and head as they speed towards that far turn. Back to third there came Mo Spice, who broke with the leaders, is now 5 lengths off this battling duo, 22.28 for the opening quarter mile. Southeastern trying to edge away from Merciless Annihilator, who keeps battling on back. Escape Hall has now ridden the rail, and Escape Hall has taken third. Reside is starting to make up some ground from far out of it. Back there, Mo Spice and Miami Kaz is the trailer. Can Southeastern and Merciless Annihilator keep this going? They reach the top of the stretch. It's Southeastern and a stubborn Merciless Annihilator to the inside, who starts to relent now. Southeastern is edging away. Escape Hall is trying to make up some ground. Reside, also Mo Spice. They're approaching a final furlong. Southeastern's almost there. Mo Spice starts to commence a rally, but running out of time inside the final 16th. Hard-earned victory, but it's Southeastern in the finale.
Flavien Prat for Brad Cox. It is Southeastern to close out this card here in New York.
They went 22-1 the first quarter. I don't think there's another rider on the planet that wins on Southeastern. I don't think anybody else could have gotten this horse to run with the 1. I mean, I don't regret my bet on Merciless Annihilator, except that I lost because it took an incredibly hard-to-imagine effort for him to lose. It just shows you this track. I think the 1 got beaten for second right at the wire at 6.5 furlongs. It didn't matter how fast they were going. You just can't gain on this racetrack. And you would have thought on a normal racetrack with that kind of pace, with these horses dueling, I don't know if either one of them would hit the board. And instead the horse drew off to victory. This is, I mean, it's been a lot of extreme biases, but this is not a path bias. This is a speed bias, and it is impossible to make up ground. And congrats to Pratt for that ride.
It was Pratt aboard with this horse. Broke his maiden, going a lot slower at a longer distance on the lead. And looking at those fractions, you would think there's no way he's going to be in front today.
Well, I mean, this horse ran at Churchill, where they went 22-145, and you don't want to compare one track to the other, but anything, the track was probably faster there. And he was 3 lengths off in 5th and 8 lengths off. This horse was nowhere near those paces. I have no idea, but I think Flavien understood. If I don't ride this horse aggressively, I will never catch the 1. If the 1 gets clear by a few lengths and is cruising up front, there's no way I can win, so my only way to win is to ride like this. I may look foolish, I may lose, but I'm going to lose if I don't do it. So that's why Flavien just won his second eclipse.
31% on the meet coming into today, and showing us why he's a 2-time reigning Eclipse winner. We'll be back at Southeastern in the 7th.
They come on for the finish in the Pilgrim Stakes. Annapolis by a head.
It is Annapolis in front. It is Annapolis to win the Coolmore Turf Mile.
The Belmont Stakes Racing Festival returns for the final time to historic Saratoga Racecourse. Don't miss the Belmont Festival at Saratoga. June 3rd through 7th. Secure your place in history at BelmontStakes.com. This winter, give the gift of racing with Naira Bets gift cards. Share your passion with friends and family or instantly fund your account. Choose the amount and redeem online. Find gift cards under the promotions tab at NairaBets.com.
First again and again and again.
Mission to win it.
First Mission. 4 graded stakes. He made finishing first his mission, and all with big buyers. Now he's a Darley Stallion, and breeders are falling in love with him. Here's fabled horseman John Williams.
First Mission is an eyeful. He's beautifully balanced, and I love the way he uses himself as he moves.
Come to see First Mission and tell us your first impression. Consider it your mission.
Racetrack Television Network brings you every race, from every track, on every screen, every day. With monthly packages starting as low as $5, RTN gives you great value and access to more live HD streaming and race replays than anyone. Visit RTN.tv today to sign up and watch on almost any device, including Roku and Amazon Fire. RTN has packages that start at $5 per month.
Back with you on America's Day at the Races and DeLuca's in Hot Springs. The place to hit after the races conclude and get not just the best pie probably in Hot Springs, but one of the best in the country.
I ate there a couple times when I was there, and I'm sold. The place was terrific.
Great time to be had by all when you visit DeLuca's downtown. We're about 12 minutes away from race 7 on the card out in Hot Springs.
Hang on, Greg. You're bearing the lead. We're like 20 minutes away from Turf Paradise.
That is true. We got bonus coverage, Turf Paradise race 4. Good call. 22 minutes to post. Let's send it out to Hot Springs, though, first.
Well, we've got a strong group of maiden fillies here traveling the 6 furlongs. A good group, I think. One that I think we'll see moving forward prove to be a good race. The number 1, Breens, I believe is how it's pronounced, for the Danny Pish barn, taking some money from the inside. And this filly's been really sharp, and she's been pretty sharp in the morning as well. The half sibling to that graded stakes winner, Miss Justify, multiple stakes winner, Miss Justify, who won the Wilton, the 3rd full to race. And she's pretty sharp. She's not all that impressive or flashy to me physically. She's been very sharp. I think she'll show speed from the rail as she gets Lasix for the first time. And as far as her gait work, she got out well. She was under a good hold by the rider on that February the 16th breeze and did it within herself. I like the way she's been training, but to me, I think she'll need the race just mentally. I find she's still putting some pieces together. Danny Pish, first-time starters and maiden special weights, just 10% over the past 5 years, so it seems to be a trend with the barn. But the number 3, Majestic Moon for Steve Initiative. She's gorgeous. She's not overly flashy. She's a very short coupled thing. She's got a pretty things, multiple.
Apologies, we lost the audio. We'll try and get Megan back as soon as we can sort that out. Favorite, just leaving your screen. Well, still on the screen right now. Fraud alert, Randy Morse, Jamie Torres.
And, of course, all these names, the fraud is a play on Charlatan, the sire's name. And Charlatan, we'll see. The jury's still out on how effective a sire he's going to be. But this horse, who has really very little pedigree on the dam side, immediate family. The second dam is Lou Ravi, who's a very good router, ran a lot of very good races. But it's hard to ignore the money this horse is taking for Randy Morse early, right?
Favorite at 5-2 right now. As we look at the 1, Brienne's, who the dam produced, we were just talking about it off air, Miss Justify, who was a first out winner, won the Wilton at Saratoga, and won the Seneca Overnight at Churchill Downs.
I want to say Greg remembered she won the Wilton without looking it up. No, you did. I was impressed. She did win the Wilton a couple years ago. Todd trained her. Yeah, so, there's some pedigree. She's a little lukewarm right now. I mean, nobody's asserting themselves right now. I thought of the horses that ran, I slightly preferred the 4, Helene's Power, to the 5, Black Magic River, but they seem to be the obvious ones, right? Bet the Gray a little bit less.
The 4 probably deserves to be the favorite, right?
I thought so. I mean, listen, she ran well. A lot of these horses will come in from Lone Star and maybe not run as well. Now, keep in mind, she was coming off an 8-month layoff, so she was supposed to improve. the winner, now to be fair, the winner had run a 41 and 40 Beyers, then ran a 59 Beyer, but the horse who ran third is actually okay and had run some faster races. So I preferred her a little bit to Black Magic River, who does feel like the speed Black Magic River, but she's a little faint-hearted, huh?
Yeah, 5-2 favorite. There she is, Black Magic River, the 5. Speed, no question. Tried to go gate to wire last start at Oaklawn, backed up to 5th. We'll see if start number 3 is a different story. Meanwhile, Bet the Gray, the 7 on your screen, getting set for her 3-year-old debut coming up.
Well, I mean, how can you possibly bet a horse claimed away from the great Tom Amoss? You know, I mean, that's like, I don't care who you are. You go from Tom Amoss to they're all nobodies compared to him.
Well, you're just, you know, you're going to, all you got to do is run them out there and they'll hold that form.
You got to just hope you can keep the form they are from the master.
Andy Kids has the greatest respect.
Love Tom.
For Tom and his abilities.
Not an easy guy to claim from. So, I mean, I joke around, but Tom is tough to claim from. But I think it is telling, and it's early. You know, you don't want to, you have to be careful with where the odds are, but it's pretty clear right now that they like the number 2 Fraud Alert. And, you know, source is showing good workouts. I don't look at workouts in the paper. I look at the timing of them. You know what I mean? In other words, are they consistently working? But frankly, one of the best innovations of the game, the DRF workout reports, you know, to tell you from experts watching how they worked, not how fast they ran.
Yeah, looking at it, could be a bullet after bullet. They could have been all out and destroyed doing so.
Absolutely.
And it could have looked awful.
Or look slow, and it's a trainer that doesn't work them that fast.
Yeah.
And they looked really good and working against good horses and were well within themselves. So there's no doubt. You know, back in the day when my friend Tony Kobitz, who some people may know as Tinky on Twitter, was doing private clocking, and I will maintain that Tony is absolutely one of the sharpest guys I've ever known in this game. And I've known some sharp people. He was tremendous at talking about horses and how they worked in the morning. Invaluable stuff.
Post-parade, they make the turn, and here's Brienne. So the Dam was a first-out winner. The second Dam was a first-out winner, and a bullet work coming in.
And she's a Liam's map, too, and cost $75,000. So I won't be surprised for her. She's a little lukewarm, though, right now, right, at 5-1?
Yeah, indeed. Next door, not lukewarm at all. Fraud Alert, taking a lot of attention for Randy Morris.
I'm going to be interested to see if this horse continues to be the favorite or if she drifts up or comes down. I think if she comes down, it's a very good sign.
So 6-1 on Brienne's. We'll see the Fraud Alert here coming up. There she is at 5-2.
Is it a coincidence that when we were talking about Fraud Alert, Mitch Levitas started talking to us in our ears?
Probably not.
Yeah, I think it's...
Majestic Moon, Steve Asmussen, getting Lasix for the 3-year-old debut.
The rank outsider on the board, the rank outsider on paper.
The one we felt off that Oaklawn 3-year-old debut probably deserves to be favored. Here she is.
Did get a fast pace last time. I think unless the pace, one of the firsters heats it up, she's going to be closer today.
Here's the speedy Black Magic River.
You got a catcher in front. They usually do.
Third start for the Chris Hartman filly. Here's Bet the Gray, 4-1. Christian Torres rides.
You know, it's not necessarily just a claim from Tom. It's also that she's moving up. You've got a horse been running in maiden claiming races and is now moving against maiden specials. Not to say these are killers on paper, but she's probably meeting better horses.
And, you know, you talked about Tom Amoss. The 7 claimed away from him last start. We're going to see his 3-year-old filly, Actus, coming up in the next race.
Has he made the trip there yet? Have you talked to him? I haven't talked to him recently.
Just via text briefly.
Yeah, I did not like Actus, which Tom would be happy about.
Well, that race coming up next. She'll make her 3-year-old debut coming in from Fairgrounds. First things first, so Black Magic River, the one to catch, is the one to beat on the board right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't bet her at 2-1. I would lean more towards the 4 or even the first or Fraud Alert. The way that one's getting bet, I'm not going to ignore her. She's holding steady at 5-2, but there is still about 5 minutes till the race, so we'll see. She could change.
4 minutes to post here in the 7th. Let's go back to Mig and Meg.
Yeah, I think it's a really interesting race, guys, and we, obviously got some first-time starters that are interesting. But where are we going to start out, Megan, here with the 4?
The 4, Helene's Power here for 2 for Danny Pish, and she honestly ran too good to lose last time out, in my opinion. I do find her to be the one that I agree with you guys probably should go favored in this spot, as she was well composed in the paddock. She definitely, to me, last out, ran well, sat off the pace, and made real ground and was game when she was really in tight there late, as we take a look at that last performance here at Oaklawn on February the 6th. And I thought she ran great, Meg. And honestly, to me, getting in really tight like that, especially first off of the bench, it wasn't a step in the right direction. She's never been off the board.
Yeah, no, and listen, all of her races have been good, and I think that was a kind of a courageous effort, right? You know, Philly kind of muscling her way between horses. A couple of first-time starters down towards the inside, starting with the one, Brienne's. You know, this is a half to the stakes winner, Miss Justify. There has been horses to win early in the family, so there's precocity. Not crazy about the rail draw, and it seems like 5-1 for a filly with her pedigree. Doesn't seem like she's getting as much attention as I thought she might.
I think it's also connections. You know, Danny Pish, I mentioned this earlier, but you kind of like needs to get a start into his horses. I think that's going to be the case with her. Also, just from a mental standpoint, she was very sharp, kind of fighting it a bit. I think she's going to be better for a start. She does have that nice pedigree, is getting Lasix, and I do find she'll show some speed from that inside draw.
I like the 2-horse Fraud Alert, first-time starter. Not the biggest filly, but she's a half-to-horse called Wyattstown, who is a stakes winner. He was by Speightstown. Fraud Alert is by Charlatan, who's out of Speightstown. So, in essence, she's a three-quarter sister to Wyattstown. A couple of snappy works in there, and Randy Moss can win with a firster.
He certainly can. He actually purchased this horse himself from that Mid-Atlantic 2-year-old sale where she breezed 10-3. A strong pedigree is mentioned. The second dam, Laravi, earned $1.8 million, grade 1 place. And Charlatan has really been doing well as time has gone on, better with his 3-year-olds than at 2 last year. And a very strong work back on December the 28th. She broke well from the gate. She wore the hood and blinker that day, which she has taken off. But she's a sprinter. I think she fits well in this group at 6 furlongs. And I think you're getting a pretty decent price up there at 7-2.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, the Honeybee, Christian Torres, search party, right? He's had a really good trip in the Martha Washington. What do you expect from her coming back in the Honeybee?
Well, Search Party is still 50-50 to run in the Honeybee per connections, as Mark Cassie has opted to potentially give this filly some time as we take a look at her valiant effort in the Martha Washington back this month. So she's coming off of a quick turnaround. Mark Cassie had said that this filly can be a lighter made type, might need the time, might need a little bit more recovery in between her races, as she put in a career best performance, right on par with actually the same buyer that she earned in her maiden win. So I'm excited to see her take a step forward. Certainly seems like the light bulb has gone off with her, but this is a tougher group in the Honeybee, and we will see if she actually starts on Sunday.
Sunday, yeah, and she is 2 for 2 here at Oaklawn, and like you said, kind of a work in progress where it feels like the light bulb, that proverbial light bulb, has gone on, and Christian Torres is just riding so well, and I'm impressed with him, Megan. He's a professional. He's a rider's rider. He just handles himself the right way.
As Counting Stars, the other Mark Cassie entrant who comes off a dismal performance in the Martha Washington up there at 15-1. I'm not willing to give up on her just yet. Mark Cassie said there wasn't a thing wrong with her coming out of the Martha Washington, where she just really did not look comfortable and did not run as well. But she was a dual stakes winner here during the holiday meet, and honestly, I think that she'll put forth a better performance, and you're getting a better price. I think now's the time to take her underneath. If you have a strong opinion with somebody else, it's probably has a little bit more now form. She's been doing well. Mark said that she actually came out the best of everybody that ran that day. So he was pretty perplexed at the poor performance, but I'm looking to see her a rebound here at a place we know she likes.
Well, I think she came out of it so well because she didn't run at all.
Yeah.
I mean, she gave no effort whatsoever, and she feels to me like a horse that when everything goes perfectly, she doesn't have a straw in her path, she doesn't have to deal with kickback or any kind of adversity, you see the best of her. And when she doesn't, she kind of folds her tent. That's problematic to me, but we've only got a minute here to post as the horses are heading out. Are we heading back to the desk in New York, guys, or are we going to talk them all the way to the gate? Okay, so where did you land, Megan?
I landed on the number 3, Majestic Moon. As I mentioned, I might have gotten cut off with the audio, but half sibling to that grade 1 winner, 8 Rings, sibling to grade 3 place British Isles. I mean, everybody has run out of this family from the foals to make the racetrack. And she is a daughter of Into Mischief, who they didn't really spend a lot of money on, just $200,000. Steve was, well meant on her head, kind of helping her through. He always has that nice touch when it comes to his horses in the paddock, settling them. I think she's an overlay. She gets Lasix for the first time. I'm hoping to see her improve at a big price.
Well, she's going to have to, but she has the pedigree and the connections to do so. I wound up on the 2 Fraud Alert, who is now co-favorite, so money coming in for the first-time starter that I like from the Randy Morse barn, and they're all loading up. We'll head up to Matt Dinnerman, the call, race 7.
One back, Bet the Gray to the outside post. And we're off. Black Magic River wins the start from post 5. Brienne's the first-time starter, has early lick. Fraud Alert is in a line of horses. Bet the Gray is going to ease off the pace with Helene's Power down the backstretch. Fraud Alert, Brienne's, they're side by side. Majestic Moon 3 deep with them, and Black Magic River takes back to 4th, 4 wide, stalking the pace relaxed though. Gap of 2, Helene's Power, Bet the Gray at the rear. They're compact going into the turn. Fraud Alert lets it out a notch. Fraud Alert kicks on with it. Brienne's has retreated a 4th under pressure. Majestic Moon striding level with Fraud Alert around the turn, and Black Magic River's gotten a good setup. 3 wide with no excuses. Helene's Power getting closer in 4th, joining Brienne's, who's trying to re-rally, and Bet the Grays come under a hard ride at the back. Coming to the quarter pole, Fraud Alert, Majestic Moon, a 3 deep Black Magic River right there. These 3 across the track coming off the turn. Black Magic River with Majestic Moon, who's coming up big today between horses. Brienne's is finding a seam down on the inside. Bet the Grays in it. Down the lane, Back Magic River inside. Brienne's skipping through on the inside, and Brienne's grabs the lead and starts to assert. Opens up. Brienne's Ramon Vasquez with a big win on debut. Bet the Gray rallies for 2nd. 3rd home Black Magic River. Fraud Alert was 4th.
Well, Megan, it was a first-time starter. Not the first-time starter I picked in the 2 Fraud Alert, but Brienne's, who showed a lot of professionalism on debut, was able to take some kickbacks, split horses, and continue with that precocity that seems to run in that family.
She was working really well. I just thought mentally she might not be all there, but she surely was. She was very game today. We'll see her split horses there late. And this is the first-time starter win in a maiden special event for Danny Pish at Oaklawn Park in the last 5 years.
Well, he gets it done with a filly that has a pedigree to back it up. She's a half to the stakes-winning Miss Justify. And this was a nice performance. I like the way when she found her room, she leveled off and really ran for home. This was a very professional effort.
She went great. I also thought the 7, Bet the Gray, showed some more run off of the layoff, getting the blinkers on. This was a pretty decent group, and I think the number 1, Brienne's, am I not saying that right? Brienne's? But she ran well today. Look to see her in the future.
Well, this is a filly that might have a future. A couple of nice works sprinkled in with a couple of slow maintenance moves. I always like those moves here. And Ramon Vasquez also riding in great form. We'll be back with more great racing here on America's Day at the Races.
Back with you on our Thursday coverage on Fox Sports 2. It's America's Day at the Races, brought to you in part by Hill and Dale at Alapa. New York card, of course, in the books. This weekend, Gotham coming up for 3-year-olds, potentially on the road to this year's Triple Crown on Saturday. Meanwhile, back at Oaklawn. First-time starter, Dan was a first-out winner. Second Dan was a first-out winner, and now Brienne's is a first-out winner as well.
Why didn't you make a big bet on this horse, Greg?
I should have, right? Our Fasig-Tipton Winner's Circle, brought to you by Fasig-Tipton Digital, North America's #1 digital platform for thoroughbreds. Learn more about our auction schedule at digital.fasig-tipton.com. Let's get digital. Let's go to Megan.
Well, here, standing by with Ramon Vasquez, who's just been red hot. You have 2 wins today. You've just been riding extremely well. But the first-time starter, Brienne's here. What did you glean from this effort? She really did things professionally today.
No, she very professional. She doing everything right in the morning. So I just want to have a good break out of the game, and she broke great. So I just take a good position on the backside. I want to make just one move because I see a lot of guys move early and then they want to go in the lead. So I just take it back a little bit to fresh my horse in the top of the lane. When I ask my feeling, she responds and she responds very well.
She's been sharp in the morning. Have you been aboard her?
Yeah, one time. And she make everything professional in the morning.
She seems professional, and she seems like a talented sprinter. Was there anything kind of going into it? She had that big pedigree that they kind of forewarned you about going into this first start?
Well, I think so. Yeah, she got a good pedigree, so that maybe help her, She's very nice feeling and very professional.
As are you. Great ride and promising filly there for Danny Pish. But continue the role. You've been just riding excellent here, Ramon.
Thank you, and thank you the owner and the trainer for the opportunity to support me. And thank you, God, for for the blessing. And well, hopefully we keep hot like that.
Well, a very competitive jockey colony, but Ramon Vasquez is holding his own with yet another victory aboard that first-time starter, the #1, Brains.
Well done, Ramon Vasquez, and you got to feel extra good to be on a first-time starter that shows this kind of talent.
Well, not just that, real professionalism, right? Broke very sharply, but then they sort of went a little faster and had to drop back on the inside. A lot of firsters not going to love that trip, but boy, he burst through and was much the best. She burst through, I think, right?
$9.60. Yeah, she for the win as we move on, set the stage for race 8, mile and a 16th. An allowance optional claiming field. Scott's Law last time faced Counting Stars.
Came back with an eased performance in the next start. I thought sticker shock off the maiden win for Cox would be tough. This is what we've been waiting for, though.
That one was 8-5 morning line. There we go to Turf Paradise. Mile distance coming up on the grass. Allowance optional claiming field. It is Hurricane Cloud is the favorite right now, 2-1. The one just finished ahead of Hurricane Cloud.
Your one has come down, though, a lot.
Yeah, 5-1, though, from the rail.
Actually, the Black Strat is now favored at 9-5. I love that name. A Star guitar. And, of course, as many people probably know, Stratocaster guitars, the Black Strat. We're trying to talk about famous guitarists that used a Black Strat. Feel free to tell me on Twitter because I can't come up with one right now.
This one's Speed. Likely to be leading the way in this field.
I agree. I mean, the Black Strat's supposed to be clear, but a little faint-hearted, right? I mean, not a horse that lately, at least, has been finishing the deal. Has some wins going back, but is consistently running figures. I think Hurricane Cloud makes sense, as does Sea of Normandy. Probably Sea of Normandy, who's 4-1 right now, is the value, would you say, Greg, of that group?
Yes, no doubt.
Yeah. I mean, I thought the 1, 5, and 6 made the most sense, and I think 4-1 is certainly an honest price. I'm not sure why. Speed Grazy 7-2. That horse's turf races are bad. It's like they're banging that horse off its dirt races, right?
Yeah, the last 2 turf races that show up on the page, they are abysmal.
They're not good enough, and I know it's Diodoro, but hey, that horse was in some good barns going back as well, and Peter Miller had this horse one of the times around the turf. He wins. That horse is overbet, so he'll probably win, I think.
20% win bonus. Hit a win bet on Turf Paradise on your Naira Bets account. Get a little extra profit. Vic Stoff for the call. Here's race 4 at Turf Paradise.
I'm Noble in the green. Last to load, House of Lords. They're at the post. They're off. The Black Strat is sent out for the front, and he wants to lead, and he's got it. Seas of Normandy away in second, then I'm Noble, followed by Chief Wild Eagle and House of Lords. Next comes Athens Moon and Hurricane Cloud, and the early trailer is Speed Grazy. It's the Black Strat, uncontested at the clubhouse turn. He's opened up a 3-length lead on Seas of Normandy in second. It's 2.5 to I'm Noble and Chief Wild Eagle, and the Black Strat is pumped up today. He's opened up 5 lengths to the backstretch. It's another gap of 5 back to House of Lords, Hurricane Cloud, and Athens Moon. And if Speed Grazy does it in his Turf Paradise debut, he'll make up 20 lengths in the final 5 furlongs. The Black Strat, the boss, up the backstretch. It's the Black Strat with a 2-length lead. Seas of Normandy is inching a little closer in second. These two have it themselves going into the far turn. Then comes I'm Noble and Chief Wild Eagle. They're together third and fourth. 4 from the front. Hurricane Cloud has 6 lengths to make up. Then Athens Moon. Speed Grazy is out of last place, and he's 10 from the lead. And the trailer is House of Lords, and the leader is still the Black Strat. The Black Strat at the quarter pole. Seas of Normandy is coming after him in second. The Black Strat cuts the corner and leads. It's a 2-length advantage. Seas of Normandy is second. Then comes Chief Wild Eagle. Hurricane Cloud emerges from the back of the pack, and here's the danger to the Black Strat. It's Hurricane Cloud. The Black Strat reaches. Hurricane Cloud attacks and is alongside. Hurricane Cloud, the Black Strat, these two to the wire. The Black Strat, Hurricane Cloud right together. Wow, this is a bob of the noses. I think Hurricane Cloud had him, but I think the Black Strat got the bob. That makes it an inch. Either way, it's a whacker.
I don't know who got this. Did the Speed hang on, the Black Strat? But here comes Hurricane Cloud. Too close to call here at the finish.
Boy, you would have thought the 5 would roll on by, but the Black Strat was game to the finish, head bobbing. I don't know. I don't know. And I want to thank Gabriel Gomez. David Gilmore played a Black Strat.
Thank you for that.
So he's probably really suffering out this photo.
7-year-old and a 9-year-old dueling down to the stretch. We're going to take a look ahead to the Triple Crown Trail coming up over the weekend. Iron Honor, first time out winner for Chad Brown, getting set for his 3-year-old debut on the Gotham Saturday.
Drain the Clock will win and win by as much as he wants.
Drain the Clock will bound home the winner. Drain the Clock, Jackie's Warrior, Drain the Clock by a head.
$270,000 in the back. $250,000.
You bet with Naira Bets. Bet any track, anywhere, anytime. Download the Naira Bets app to play today and get a $200 deposit bonus. Watch live horse racing. Get expert picks. Boost your bankroll with weekly promotions and hone your handicapping skills with exclusive tips and tutorials. Download the Naira Bets app now. Sign up now to claim your $200 deposit match bonus. You bet with Naira Bets.
RaceLens is the most in-depth product in horse racing, with unique features found nowhere else. True odds, predictive analysis, and pace projection. RaceLens. It will change the way you follow horse racing and take your game to the next level.
Enhance your handicapping with AI Fast Facts, exclusively on Naira Bets. Open your Naira Bets app, click View Runner Details, and a stat-driven fact will appear for all U.S. thoroughbred racehorses. Download the Naira Bets app to start using Fast Facts today.
Witness history.
Sandman is getting a little bit closer with Hypnos.
Greatness.
Here comes Cole Battle and Juan Vargas rolling towards the lead.
And legends in the making.
Cole Battle, the story continues. Cole Battle does it.
Sunday, March 1st at the 2026 Rebel Stakes. Watch champions rise on the road to the Kentucky Derby and compete for a $1 million purse. It's all happening just a short drive away at Oaklawn Hot Springs. Plan your stay today and come join the fun.
Back on America's Day at the Races, it's brought to you in part by these gorgeous grounds. Hill and Dale at Alapa, proud to have them as a sponsor. As we have more action coming up from Oaklawn Park, and we just had a thriller at Turf Paradise. And it was Hurricane Cloud, the 5, getting that victory over the Speed. The Black Strat running that one down in the final jump.
Winning the Bob. You're happy if you had Hurricane Cloud. You're not happy if you had the Black Strat, a little 56.
5-6, 1-2, 8th career win, all of them coming on the lawn for yet a 5 here. Hurricane Cloud, this 9-year-old son of Frankel, still going strong.
Very generous price in this horse, $8. $28 for the exacta for 2. Logical horses running 1-2 in the try. Not bad payouts considering. Yeah. Very logical horses ran 1, 2, 3 there.
So $8 on the win for Hurricane Cloud. Right around the corner. Belmont Week coming up faster than you might think. Got to put in room reservations coming up.
And the Saratoga Stakes schedule also announced today, by the way.
Yes.
Check that out online at NYRA.com.
Here it is, just released. This is the whole point of this segment.
Okay.
But I know you're excited.
I am excited.
Yeah, you're just a fan.
I'm just excited you're back. I am a fan.
A lot of action that Belmont Week. And as you could not have ended in a more fairy tale way, really.
Yeah.
Last year.
Yeah, with deterministic winning. Of course, just after Christophe passed. And, you know, I imagine that Christophe will get in the Hall of Fame. They announced the finalists today. I think it's unfortunate he didn't get in when he was alive, as he deserved to get in. But he'll probably get in this year.
All right, well, I thought we were going to get you that list, but it is available on our website. Oh, actually, we do have it, apparently.
You really dropped the ball there, Craig.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing.
It's coming. There we go.
Yeah, and I think people, you know, there was a lot of confusion about when the Travers was because AI apparently got it wrong on the internet. The Travers is always going to be, at least, you know, has been, it's the last Saturday before Labor Day, so it's going to be the 29th this year. Whitney Day, you know, Whitney Day that weekend is Fasig-Tipton. The sales are always on Monday, so. And I think it's important to note the Alabama right before the Travers, the Jock Club Gold Cup has been moved. We will be running it on opening day at Belmont Park.
Wow.
Yeah, and expecting Sovereignty, and could be a really great race this year.
And August 15th, you saw the date for the Christophe Clement turf.
Yes, the Sword Dancer has been renamed for Christophe Clement, who won it many times. And you know, you see horses. I was looking up the Morning Light favorite for the Rebel, Black, whose name's escaping me. He's Dam and Grand Dam were both trained by Christophe. Blackout Time were both trained by Christophe, and I miss Christophe. I think a lot of us do. And you know, it's not
whole sport does.
Never going to forget Christophe. He was a great guy and great part of the game.
No question. So that was announced during last year's Sword Dancer. That race would be renamed. So the first running of that race, honoring the terrific trainer, will take place August 15th of this year. And you get your tickets while you can be part of what will be the final Belmont Stakes held at historic Saratoga Racecourse. Horses who could be there, potentially coming out of the Gotham on Saturday. We talked about Iron Dome going to break, who was...
Iron Honor.
Iron Honor, excuse me. First time out, impressive, but we'll see if this one can step forward now, lightly raced.
I bet a couple bucks. I'm at 122 to 1 in the last Derby pool. It just seemed like a ridiculous price. You know, this maiden win was very impressive, getting a 95 buyer. Now, the winner came back and won. He got an 89 or 91, I think, the next time out. So he ran a little slower, but comparable. And this is a race proving to be legitimate. This horse is a very good horse. He is a deserving heavy favorite here. And Chad Brown has been gushing to me about how he's been training in Florida in over the past month. You know, he had been talking about it one day on the phone. It came up, and he said, you know, he wasn't sure how he was doing going forward, what exactly was going to do with him. And he said he just started working so incredibly well that he's really wanted to be aggressive. And he told me at that point, I'm going to come to Aqueduct and run him in the Gotham. Well, it's working out so far, and he is the one to beat for sure.
Love to see a horse, too, that has tactical ability sprinting, obviously can prevail in a dogfight down the stretch, has heart as well, and to be able to win at first asking. So sky is the limit, you would think, as he gets set to make his 3-year-old debut in the Gotham coming up on Saturday.
Yeah, I don't know that I'm going to cash the Kentucky Derby, but a good race in the Gotham, and I think it'll be less than 122 to 1. So I'd rather have 122 to 1 on him than 7 to 1 on Paladin. Paladin's more likely to win the Derby, but I don't think that he's 20 times as likely to win.
Hammond,
18 times.
Seen here, this is 2 back, I believe.
No, this is 2 back? I'm sorry.
You may be right.
No, yes, this is last time. You really need to watch the entire race, and I recommend that people watch this race because he really did run much better than it looks. His head was turned. He wasn't really prepared for the start. He was in a bad position. He was wide. He made a big middle move in there. The winner of that race is a very nice horse who's stretching out in the Fountain of Youth. Class president, who was second. He's not going to be 10 to 1 in the Rebel. I think he's one of the players in the Rebel for Todd Pletcher. And I think Hammond is a major, major threat.
Yeah. Right to Party was 3rd behind Iron Honor. Came back to win. Did so with a slowish time, though. Is that horse even on the radar?
You know, a friend of mine likes him. I think he's out of his mind, to be honest with you. He was on the rail a bit last time, to be fair, and the rail wasn't good that day, but he angled out and ended up getting a very good trip. I don't love the way Dr. Sinatra and Felonious, the horse who were 2nd, 3rd, have come back in subsequent starts. So I am not too bullish on Right to Party in here.
Race 10 Saturday, Grade 3 Gotham at a mile. $300,000 purse.
Seen
see what happens.
Great Gothams over the years going back. You know, I remember when Gone West won this race, and a lot of great horses. Easy Goer came up here as 2nd start as a 3-year-old to win. So Dr. Fager won this race. It's been a great race over the years.
Meanwhile at Oaklawn, mile and a 16th. In this allowance optional claiming race coming up, get except for the post parade here momentarily. The favorite, Sticker Shock, Brad Cox, gate to wire win in start number 2, stretching out at Churchill Downs, and now comes the 3-year-old debut. We'll start though with Spitfire, dropping out of the Oaks Prep, the Martha Washington.
Just didn't really do any running at all in there, and she's never run a race fast enough to be competitive in here. Not for me.
Scott's Law. We will see next. There's Spitfire, the drop down for Ken McPeak.
I think the one thing to say if you like Spitfire, it is her 2nd race off a layoff in a more realistic spot. So
true.
I can understand that thinking, to be fair.
John Ortiz-Born, here's Scott's Law.
She ran just behind Newtown Pike in the year's end, who I like in the Honeybee. Maybe she can improve.
Serengeti Empress Silks, Actus for Tom Amos.
Yes, but Actus going to have to get a little of that Serengeti Empress ability to win here.
Authentic Cat, Ken McPeak won the debut and then struggled against in the year's end.
She didn't run at all last time. She did break slowly, about a length slow in there. So I'll give her a pass. I think she'll run better today.
Sticker Shock, Gary and Mary West Silks went by for Brad Cox.
She looks like the speed to me and the horse to beat.
Yeah. I'm a little crazy. We just saw it 11 to 1. Here's Copper Wind.
She's another horse who can be forward for Steve Asmussen, but she's another one that regressed stretching out off her debut. I don't trust her going long, even though she's a gun runner.
And Indiana-bred Kaboom, whose maiden win came first time out at Horseshoe Indy.
She's sprinting. Too slow on paper, but I will say, as a kid, I was a big fan of Kaboom cereal. So it could be a hunch.
Oh, I never tried it.
Really? There was a thing came out. It looks like a Lucky's Charms type thing.
Yeah.
And there was like a survey in the New York Times of the top 100 or something nutrition, and it was like right near the top. So my mom started buying it for us.
I'm gonna call.
I'm telling you.
BS on.
It's not. I'm telling you. Kaboom was right near the top. I'm gonna look it up online. Everything's online.
We're gonna take a look at a couple here in action from their most recent efforts. Authentic Cat to start with won the debut for Ken McPeak. Authentic Filly, who on December 12th won first asking. She was 6 to 1 in this race.
And you know, as you're going to see, 2-year-olds can't run on Lasix. She gets Lasix for her first start. Now, is it possible she bled last time? I suppose it is a possibility. She ran well enough in her debut to think that she could take a little step forward and be competitive here. She was awful last time and just didn't run a step. She ran so badly, though, that you want to kind of give her a pass. I can't make an excuse for it, but it was just a total non-effort.
And to win at a mile and 16th in the debut, it's not easy to do. Sticker Shock. Take a look at her last time out. Gate to wire at Churchill Downs for Brad Cox.
I thought she ran well. I think she's supposed to be the speed in this race. I don't believe the pace projects to be particularly fast in here. I thought she was the worst to beat. You know, she easily beat Search Party. Now, Search Party was opportunistic in winning the Martha Washington. She got a very, very good trip. I don't think she was the best horse, but still, she ran pretty well. It was a decent enough field, so I think Sticker Shock's the one to beat for Brad.
Meanwhile, here's Spitfire. 6-1, but the favorite, 9-5. Sticker Shock we just showed you. Let's send it out to Hot Springs.
Yeah, thanks, Craig. And another real competitive heat here. We'll start with the 2 Scottslaw. Now, you kind of gave me some intel about her that she can get a little revved up, was kind of a washy mess last time. Seems like she's kind of holding it together today.
She's got ability if she can put things together both physically and mentally. As last time out, she got washy. She was very over the top in the paddock, and she was just a bit hard to handle as she ultimately, honestly, ran a good race. She stumbled at the start last time, didn't break as well. I think those pre-race dynamics got to her a bit, but she was a bit more settled today. Johnny Ortiz has been schooling her in the paddock. He's been trying to get her more mentally together as he really thinks that she has some of that ability, but she is a high-energy, busy-minded individual. She's got talent. We'll see if she can put it together today as the half-sister to that multiple Grade 1 winner, Scottish Lassie.
And we'll keep an eye on her in the starting gate, too, because she's got 3 running lines: bobbled start, bumped between start, off slow. And she looks to me like a filly that shuffles her feet a lot. So we'll just keep an eye on how she gets away from there. The 4 Authentic Cat, this is where I landed. I really liked her debut. I thought last time after breaking slowly, she just had one of those wide to nowhere trips, just completely out of position the entire time. And she gets Lasix for the first time. I thought she was a little bit interesting.
She is interesting. I didn't think she tripped out at all last time out. Questionable group she beat on debut I didn't think was that strong whatsoever. And she's a very tall, leggy individual. She wants every bit of this ground, but I wonder, her grass pedigree, there is some on paper as her second dam, one on turf. A bit slacker in her pasterns, a little angular behind. I think that she could also potentially fare well on the turf and perhaps in the future as she gets to come off a little bit of time. She's been working well in the morning. We'll see just how good she is. She wasn't overly well regarded prior to that debut, but she does have some ability, and she'll probably be coming from off of things as she settled in as a closer in her last 2 starts.
And I thought there was enough speed sign on that could potentially help her cause finishing. We both agree. There were 2 horses that stood out from a physical perspective, and the 5 Sticker Shock, she'd be leading that list.
She looked incredible.
Amazing.
She looks fantastic. She's fit coming off of the layoff. She moves like a cat. She's so athletic. She's gorgeous. A homebred by Uncle Mo for Gary and Mary West, with Brad Cox, of course, taking that money. She was a bit antsy. I think she's going to be sharp. She showed speed, obviously, last time out there, winning her maiden in gate-to-wire fashion at Churchill Downs, and she looks absolutely incredible. The half to that Grade 1 winner and multiple graded stakes winner Fighting Mad, who won the Clement Hirsch and the Santa Maria. And the lone work that I saw from her back on February the 20th, she's been down at the Pace and Park division where all of Cox's nice runners are. She was under a hold. She kept even terms. It was a very complete piece of work. Not overly flashy, just doing what she's been told. She looks like a runner. I think she's going to run well off of the bench.
If looks have anything to say about it, she was so well turned. A lot of filly there by Uncle Mo. And then the 7 horse from the Asmussen barn, Copper Wind, another one. Just, boy, she looks so good, and I think she'd be better off free running a little more. She showed good speed on debut at the fairground sprinting, and I thought last time, she was kind of in a duel, but I thought they could have maybe just let her to her own devices, let her be a bit more free running.
She certainly looks like a filly with an attitude. She has got some attitude, and she is antsy, was on her toes, very sharp. I'm hoping she can carry that speed as well, Meg.
We were talking about Sticker Shock. As she came out onto the racetrack, she was behind the 4 Authentic Cat, who, when she was being handed off to her lead pony, kind of hesitated, and it backed up the post braid a little bit. And I can tell you, as a former rider, you get one that was as coiled up like a spring as the 5 Sticker Shock, you want them to keep going forward because they're going to use that energy. And you don't want them using that energy going backwards because inevitably they'll rear up. So she held it together, but they needed to keep her going forward. She just looks like she's got run on her mind.
She does. She was kept moving in the paddock. That's exactly what the plan was for her in there. But another horse that I thought looked fantastic was the number 1 Spitfire, who's actually taking a step down in class after 3 consecutive back-to-back stakes. She ran well at Saratoga. I think she's got some talent running behind the likes of Dazzling Dame and Search Party. And she's also a half to the Tremont winner, 2 of a kind. So she's got some pedigree. I think she might be a little bit better for it coming out of those tougher assignments. Does break the rail and doesn't have a lot of speed.
No, she doesn't have a lot of speed. Does get Lasix for the first time, too, and sometimes that can improve a horse's form markedly. A lot of these horses have never competed on Lasix. The 2 Scots Law still not getting Lasix. But the 4 Authentic Cat, the horse I like, getting Lasix for the first time as well. The 6, I'm a little crazy. We've kind of seen this migration of Southern California trainers, this one by Phil D'Amato, having more of a at Oaklawn. And understandably so. Big purses, more opportunity to run their horses. I just want to set the record straight, though, Megan. The 6, I'm a little crazy, is not named for me.
Oh, I thought it was.
Well, I am a little crazy, but this one wasn't.
I think it was named
for
after me. I'm just teasing. Meg's not crazy. He's on.
Okay, you should have known me when I was riding. You can talk to Andy about that, but they are getting ready to head to the starting gate. You are on the favorite, the 5 Sticker Shock. I went with the 4-1 with Authentic Cat. And I think we're going to see a very competitive race 8 here. Mile and a 16th. Fillies going the mile and a 16th for Matt Dinnerman. Who's going to have your call.
Crazy have all gone in. Here comes Copper Wind to post 7. Actus post 3. 2 back. Authentic Cat. And then to the outside post, Kaboom. Waiting on Kaboom. Go again. We're ready to go. And we're off. Sticker Shock, good start for her. Copper Wind a little bit quicker, and Scott's Law close to the pace as well. Copper Wind strides out. Scott's Law takes a hold second. Sticker Shock relaxing off the pace today is third. Spitfire down on the rail as they corner into the turner. Stablemate Authentic Cat finds herself between horses. Actus is 2 pass off the rail. I'm a little crazy is 4 wide. Kaboom drops to the rear. Juan restraint early. 7 lengths off the pace. Around the clubhouse turn they go. It's Copper Wind with the ears pricked. Comfortable on the lead and is opened up 2 1/4 lengths on the 2 favorites, Sticker Shock and Scott's Law. They race side by side. A length to I'm a Little Crazy. Into the 4th position she goes. Then Authentic Cat. Actus still between rivals. Spitfire's down on the rail. And Kaboom at the rear racing alone. 6 from the lead as Copper Wind approaches the half-mile pole. Still in charge a length and a half. Sticker Shock goes all right. Takes second easily. Scott's Law third, showing a little more rain approaching the 4-turn run. Authentic Cat tries to get closer. She joins I'm a Little Crazy. Spitfire remains on the rail waiting into the 4th turn. Kaboom now second to last. Actus is dropped out of it as they round the 4th turn. Here comes Sticker Shock without being asked. Sticker Shock alongside of Copper Wind. Sticker Shock head in front now of Copper Wind. Scott's Law to the inside now asked to get after Sticker Shock at the quarter pole. Sticker Shock a narrow lead. Scott's Law all in, but she's right up alongside now at the top of the lane. Scott's Law, Sticker Shock off the turn. Scott's Law on the outside. Sticker Shock finding more on the inside. Sticker Shock, Scott's Law, 1 furlong to go. Sticker Shock has a narrow lead on Scott's Law, who's trying ever so hard to get by her. Scott's Law, Sticker Shock drifted out just a little bit there, but she maintains the lead, and Sticker Shock will win. Sticker Shock out finishing Scott's Law. Spitfire ran on for 3rd. Authentic Cat was 4th.
Well, a very game effort by the 5 Sticker Shock in her 3rd start. Took intense pressure through the stretch, Megan, by the 2 Scott's Law. Drifted out on a few.
Apologies there, we lost our audio with Megan. This 5 obviously is a very good performance from Sticker Shock. That was a game effort from the 2 Scott's Law.
Well, the first one, as you point out to me, and is somewhat obvious, the 5 looks like she's about twice as big as the 2, because you could see that the rider in the number 2, Luis Saez, was all in around the turn. Torres was kind of just sitting on sticker shock. So you think the five's going to drop the stretch, and there were a few points where it felt like she sort of got, and Scottsdale just never stopped coming at her. You can really see it. I love this, the drone angle they show. Just kept coming after her, and I don't think there's any reason for an inquiry. She came out a little bit, nothing really significant. A nice effort by both these horses, actually.
Yeah.
Drowned the rest of the field.
Relentless Scottsdale would not go away, but in the end, sticker shock crosses the wire first, back-to-back wins.
I'm watching that drone shot. Louis could claim.
Really?
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll wait and see when we come back and if there is an inquiry. More from Turf Paradise as well, right after this. Back with you on our Thursday coverage. You're watching America's Day at the Races on Fox Sports 2, brought to you where you can play it all at Naira Bets. Bet any track, anywhere, anytime. No one ever told me about Bubbaloo's before.
Me either. I feel we've been.
By the way, I went on a duck tour. It was in Miami.
A duck tour?
Well, it's an amphibious vehicle that can go on water or land.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Yeah, one of the best times I ever had.
There's some different information here about whether or not Kaboom was healthy. I'm just
We'll
letting
get
you
back
know.
to that in a minute. Sticker shock, back-to-back wins for Brad Cox. Let's go to Megan.
Well, kind of the man of the hour, the $2 million man, I should say, with Christian Torres aboard sticker shock, getting the victory off of the layoff. She just looked like all class. You didn't really ask for her, and then when you did, she was incredibly game down the lane.
Yeah, she's a very nice filly. I watched her replay last time with Irad, and she made it look like she do it real easy. So, no, I just break, and she was right there. You know, she's pretty straightforward out of the gate. I just sit on her, and when I asked her at the top of the lane, she took off, and she just one pace. You know, she's not the type of filly that will kick you hard home, but she's game. She's game. She's a really nice filly.
Certainly one that looks to be potentially in the stakes ranks off of this big effort off of the bench, but it's a huge weekend as Rebel approaches. You've got the Timberlake hat on as you captured the Rebel with that horse for Brad Cox. But Silent Tactic, so game in the Southwest. You've been aboard him coming out of that race. What cues has he given you coming out of a very impressive performance?
He's doing great. He's doing great. I worked him last time. He worked 47 and change. And he did really easy, honestly. When Caden told me he won in 47 and change, I couldn't believe it. The way he did it, he was just galloping out there. So he's doing great. Yeah, big weekend. You know, I got Saturday Sandman again. So, and then Sunday Silent. So hopefully everything goes well this weekend.
Absolutely, but got to tell me, okay, what's the best Rebel memory? You've got Timberlake on your head, but what's the one for you since you've been here at Oaklawn?
Timberlake is special. It was my first grade too, and my first $1 million race. So that one is kind of special.
Very special indeed. Also, I mean, your first grade one with Gun Pilot coming from your Oaklawn prep here, but so game here, and best of luck this weekend, Christian.
Thank you. Appreciate it, guys.
Sticker Shock looks to be a classy filly here for Brad Cox, Greg.
We're going to go to Turf Paradise. They are loading, just about to break from the gate. 2-turn mile. Non-winners at 2 life claiming race. And a quick look at the odds. King and Country, the 4 odds-on favorite.
I don't think he should be that heavy a favorite. I thought he was the horse to beat over the 5 and 8, but 3 to 5 seems a little short.
And now, all of a sudden, a couple of horses who were set to load have backed away.
They knew we were rushing to get this going. I don't think Meg was paying as much attention to Turf Paradise as she should have been. I'm just speaking to her about that. Really, Meg. Yeah, I know. They were rushing in the gate, weren't they?
Yeah.
As soon as we ended the interview, they just started lollygagging around.
So 3 to 5 on a horse who tried to go gate to wire last time out. I guess a little bit tougher level. That was 8,500. Now winners at 2.
But, you know, he was stretching out. I sometimes think about whether or not, you know, these sprinters run their best race first time stretching out. And I think both the 5, Stetsons and Stilettos, and the 8 regarding Harry, should be, you know, forwardly placed as well. So 3 to 5 seems a little bit short on this horse.
Yeah.
Has a speed figure edge, though, to be fair.
Vic Stauffer, the call. Here's race 5, Turf Paradise.
King and Country will be next. Still working with Smiling Capote. Last to load regarding Harry. They're at the post. They're off. Stetsons and Stilettos and a hard scent King and Country. These two go fast, and they are the leaders into the clubhouse turn from Knockout Guy and to the outside regarding Harry. Next, it's Dandy Day, Dinero de la Casa, and Liberty Wolf, and the early trailer is Smiling Capote. King and Country going to clear off to the backstretch. The big favorite, King and Country, leads by a length and a half to Stetsons and Stilettos, Knockout Guy between horses, and Dinero de la Casa at the rail. Those 3 are now 2 lengths clear from Dandy Day and Regarding Harry. Here's Regarding Harry into 5th now and 4 from the front. Liberty Wolf just inside of him. Smiling Capote is second to last with 8 lengths to make up. And now Dandy Day is the trailer, and the leader is King and Country. King and Country into the far turn, a length in front of Stetsons and Stilettos in second. Dinero de la Casa is third at the rail, and he's 2 from the front. Knockout Guy has 5 lengths to make up. Regarding Harry is hard-ridden 5th, and he's 6 from the lead. Then comes Liberty Wolf, still at the back of the pack, Dandy Day and Smiling Capote, and still at the front of the pack is King and Country. King and Country now a quarter mile from the money, and he leads by a length over Stetsons and Stilettos in second. Dinero de la Casa could still do it. He's at the rail third and less than 2 from the front. 3 back 2. Regarding Harry, King and Country has a final furlong to get, and he leads by a length and a half. Dinero de la Casa trying to squeeze through a very tight spot and challenge this favorite to the wire, King and Country. Dinero de la Casa, King and Country. Dinero de la Casa, King and Country. King and Country beat Dinero de la Casa. Stetsons and Stilettos was third, and Regarding Harry finished 4th.
King and Country, second time since coming back off the bench, stretching out, able to get the job done.
Not exactly winning like a 3 to 5 shot should, but able to hold off Dinero de la Casa. Never left the fence and ran a lot better than I would have thought. But the heavy favorite gets it done. Horse to beat, but 3 to 5 gets it done, though.
A horse who was 1 for 25 lifetime behind him. Yeah, hanging on for second. Short price on your winner in the 5th at Turf Paradise. We're going to take a timeout when we come back. Rebel coming up this weekend, and Southwest winner back for more from Murkasey. Silent Tactic. We'll look to go back-to-back on the Triple Crown Trail in Hot Springs. Stay with us.
Prince of Monaco's Too Good for Moose, an impressive winner of the Best Pal. Miramondi's all hot, but Prince of Monaco Too Good.
Prince of Monaco, standing at Claiborne Farm.
You bet with Naira Bets. Bet any track, anywhere, anytime. Download the Naira Bets app to play today and get a $200 deposit bonus. Watch live horse racing. Get expert picks. Boost your bankroll with weekly promotions and hone your handicapping skills with exclusive tips and tutorials. Download the Naira Bets app now. Sign up now to claim your $200 deposit match bonus. You bet with Naira Bets.
Some horses are remembered, other horses are passed down like an heirloom. He's the kind of horse that lives in stories, each better than the one before, hardened like a diamond and equally brilliant. He ran 3 straight years at the highest level, and he himself was elite.
Putting on a show in the Preakness. Who's it gonna be? It's gonna be National Treasure. National Treasure would not be denied. National Treasure wins the Pegasus World Cup. In the blink of an eye has opened up a 5-length advantage. It's a 1-horse race. National Treasure.
There's a brilliance in the way he moved and a tenacity in how he finished. By quality road with a wealth of family, and he raced like he knew it. National Treasure, the key to quality.
They're in the final furlong, and it's all American Pharaoh answering this test with flying colors. American Pharaoh will romp home in the Rebel.
What an incredible horse. Hard to believe that was all the way back in 2015. He'd go on to win the Arkansas Derby, and I know someone who still didn't believe in him after that Arkansas Derby win.
Well, Greg was there for one of the great legendary fights I had with our producer back then for the Jock Club on Fox shows, who did make a ridiculous bet. I gave him 4-1 that he'd win the Triple Crown. I lost it, but I maintained. My only regret in that bet was I didn't pay him in nickels. I told you and Simon Bray I was going to pay him in nickels, and I didn't. I chickened out.
Go on to be the horse to end the drought of 37 years in that Triple Crown.
Briefly, let it, yeah. And then he lost the Travers, the only time I picked him.
Incredible
ever,
keen
his
ice,
whole career.
beat him in the Travers. And then, of course, he'd go on to win the Breeders' Cup Classic. Pretty incredible horse.
Sorry he didn't run as a 4-year-old. I understand why they retired him. Obviously, the money's too good, but felt like he was a horse that he's like a wind-up toy. The way he just kept running, you know?
And he was incredibly kind, too, and easy to be around in the barn.
I mean, that scene in the winner's circle of the Belmont Stakes, a lot of horses, there could have been multiple deaths there. I mean, and he, as a friend of mine said, you could blow up a grenade next to him and he wouldn't flinch.
Yeah.
He was amazing. Yeah.
Really calm, cool customer. What an incredible horse. This year's edition of the Rebel, of course, coming up on our Sunday coverage out in Hot Springs. And it has attracted a full field. As we mentioned, going to break, Southwest winner, Silent Tactic, back one of 2 in the race for Marcassi.
And Bravaro is not going to run. He's going to stay in Florida and run the Fountain of Youth. So it's a 9-horse field. I'll be honest, the speed on the outside with the Soldier and Diplomat, I get it. I get they're going to stay on the Triple Crown Trail. I'm not sure the best result for him wouldn't be running 6th in here and Steve deciding to sprint him, because I don't know. Like, I can't get into Steve's head, but I think he's a talented horse, and I think he's the kind of horse that could be effective in a race like the Woody Stevens now and Jerkins. I don't love the Southwest as a race. I thought the pace mostly held together, saved the winner, and I don't believe he's going to be effective going longer. I could be wrong, but I think Litmus Test is faster than him, has a much better post, and I don't believe he can win this race with a horse like Litmus Test in there.
Stablemates who won both the Smarty Jones and the Southwest. You have Blackout Time, who was second to Ted Noffey last time we saw him, and Low South Futurity winner Litmus Test for Bob Baffert, all lining up in what looks like a very strong addition to the Rebel as we send it back to Hot Springs.
Oh, I agree. I think it is a very strong addition to the Rebel, and you have a little bit of something for everybody. Horses using it as a starting out point on that Kentucky Derby, or the Triple Crown Trail, I should say, and horses that have more recency, like Silent Tactic, who I have gotten continually higher on. Watching him in the mornings, this effort here, and Andy made a good point. The pace did fairly well together for all the horses up front. He was the only horse that closed, much like he did in the Southwest. Smarty Jones, when there was no pace whatsoever. This wasn't a fast pace. I thought it was a legitimate pace, but the way he finished, Megan, he really had his legs up underneath him.
It's more impressive every time I go back and watch it. The acceleration late, the turn of foot, that honestly kind of gives me more of a turf impression, the way he finished that race. But he is not a workhorse. He is not a morning glory. He worked 47 and change this last week with Christian Torres aboard, who I just caught up with, who is just, they're all very excited about him going back into this race off a shorter turnaround. It's a tale of 2 Oxleys with Strategic Risk, who I don't think that he is the second coming whatsoever, but I also think he's better than that last race at a big price. Obviously, Silent Tactic is who you want out of that Southwest. He was much the best. But I think this is a tougher assignment. We've got some Baffert, X Factor, as well as Todd Pletcher, who I think has a chance there with the 3 class president.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And Christian Torres being smart last year, taking off of Sandman, held it together, kept his composure, his class, and now he's riding a lot for Marcassi. So good for him that he handled it so professionally. Blackout Time by Not This Time, who is just as hot a sire as is out there. Broke his maiden very impressively when he stretched a mile, but his second against Ted Noffey, the 2-year-old champion, really points him out.
If you take just this race, I take Blackout Time over Litmus Test all day. I think he ran clearly the better race. However, I think Litmus Test has certainly taken a move forward. I've got to actually see him in person that day at Keeneland. I thought that he was a little bit more of a work in progress that day. And now, with the maturity, I think he's going to be better for it. And Blackout Time, Litmus Test looks to give Bob Baffert a record, I believe, 9th win in this Rebel. But I will say this, Meg, only 2 of his 8 Rebel winners have even made it into the Kentucky Derby starting gate.
Yeah, but one of them was a Triple Crown
he
winner.
was the one.
In American Pharaoh. Guys, I think a really nice edition of the Rebel, and we'll have some more answers come sundown Sunday.
We look forward to it coming up this weekend. That is on Sunday. They moved the date this year.
I think they wanted to get away by moving it to Sunday. You know, it's the riders. There's only so many riders in the Fountain of Youth, the Gotham, are that day, and so I like the idea. I think it was a good move by them doing that, and interesting to see what happens. You know, it's a funny race because I think you'll get a misimpression if you look at the morning line. I mean, Class President is kind of the interesting horse. Todd's horse in there, he's not going to be 10-1. He'll probably be about half that price. And Litmus Test is not going to be 7-2.
No.
He's going to at least vie for favoritism with Blackout Time. You and I think there's a good chance he's favored.
Yeah.
I think he should be.
I think he will be.
Yeah.
Don't usually pay a lot of attention to the morning line there.
No. But if you're looking at it and think, oh my gosh, I'm going to get 10-1 on this Todd Pletcher horse, relax. You're not.
Yeah.
Or oh my God, I'm going to get 7-2 in Litmus Test. Listen, I'm not knocking Blackout Time, and he did finish ahead of Litmus Test. But Baffert coming in with Pratt, he ain't going to be 7-2.
King and Country, the winner back at Turf Paradise, stretched out last start again, and tried to do it on the front end. Could not last. This time does.
Yeah, it was a stirring stretch run, no doubt about it, with the one who, I have to go back and look, made a game, Dinero de la Casa, but he was able to hold on for victory over Dinero de la Casa and Stetsons and Stilettos. We saved the best for last, though. The 4.5 furlong race to close it out on the show. That's the race. Do not turn this TV off. I don't care if your dinner's ready, keep it in the oven. Okay, you don't want to miss this race.
No, it is a good one coming up. Yeah. King and Country, $3.20 for the win at odds on, 3-5, 32-1 underneath. House money.
Looked like a 32-1 shot, to be honest. So yeah, that exacted. Congrats.
And as Andy mentioned, we do have that 6th still to come. Let's set up though the nightcap at Oaklawn. Arkansas bred, $12,000 maiden, claiming 6 furlong sprint with a lot of scratches.
I mean, one thing about Oaklawn, you rarely see scratches. You look through the rest of the card, I think there were like 3, maybe 4 scratches the entire day, and that somehow 5 horses came out of this race. Not something you would have expected, and obviously changes the race dramatically.
Yeah, I'd probably either way. Paris Accord, though, the 9 was going to take a lot of money, and right now is the favorite, but has had 8 starts already. Unable to get a win. We'll see if today's the day for a 5-year-old mare trying to get her first win in the finale from Oaklawn when we come back. Back with you. Overview of Hot Springs. Where's the MIG?
The MIG?
I think I see him.
He's usually glowing.
Finale from Hot Springs. 3 minutes to post to close out their card. In the 6 furlong sprint, state-bred $12,000 maiden claiming event, the 6 Lady Bell. Least has done nothing wrong. First-time starter.
I agree. My day was ruined when Shrimp Cookie scratched.
I thought, honestly, look, there's no superstars in here. The 7 actually made a pretty nice appearance on track. See what Meg and Megan have to say.
Yeah, thanks, Greg. And, yeah, I mean, this is an interesting group of 12-5 maiden claimers, Arkansas breds. You're interested in the 4 Air Castle. She's had a lot of chances, 11, but at least she's been second or third 6 of those 11 times.
She has, and she very well could have found the right group. There was it's hard to sort through to me in this one, Meg. But she sports those foot and blinkers. She's got some speed dropping down in class, and especially reuniting back with those Arkansas breds. She's tried open foes and hasn't really gone her way, but last out off the layoff, she was 3 wide. She was under right around the turn, and she was just wide consistently throughout the running of that race. She, with the scratches, believe she draws the rail now, so hopefully she can utilize some of that speed and be able to break and move forward as the experienced veteran of this field.
Yeah, but again, at least she has shown run. Her form is okay, so maybe the 12th time will be the charm. The 6 Lady Bell is where I landed. First-time starter out of a stakes-winning mare who won on debut, so there's some precocity there. She has produced 5 winners and 1 debut winner. We saw Danny Pish win with a nice first-time starter earlier today. Maybe this filly's just very realistically spotted. At least she's not exposed yet.
She's not exposed yet, and that is key. But I will say she kind of had a little bit of gap in training for that weather, but she got back on the bandwagon 3 consistent work since. Getting Eric Asmussen aboard for Danny Pish. Looks to do it again with a first-time starter, but in these kind of groups, you just never know. And as you mentioned, being underexposed is usually best.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I have no knowledge of if she's been working well or not. I just think she landed in a really soft spot for her debut, and maybe that'll be enough to see it through. The 7 actually did make a nice impression galloping off on the racetrack. I mean, didn't show any speed whatsoever, but does get blinkers, and maybe, John Ortiz's horses tend to look good and does drop from that maiden 40 to the maiden 12-5.
Blinkers come on. She was disappointing with a very wide post last time out, widest of 11, and a tough assignment on debut. She is an antsy type. She's got a teddy bear actually on her stall, and she can kind of be a little over the top, but she kind of handled herself well on track here. Doesn't have a lot of pedigree whatsoever. I'm just hoping to see perhaps some improvement, but honestly, with the scratches in this field, it makes it hard to swallow trying to take any short price, as this field was scratched down.
Yeah, I mean, we had 5 scratches, so now we're down to a field of 6. The 8-horse, Jack's Gal, also dropping in class, showed a bit more speed in her second start. Could there be improvement there?
She settled. She was a bit keen just off the pace last time out, where there was just no catching a runaway victor in Red River Storm. This is the right spot for this horse. She's been over the top and just can be hard to handle, as sometimes this barn produces, hoping for a step forward, has the speed figures, but I mean, nobody has a real edge in terms of just general speed figures unless you go back through some of the races of the 4 Air Castle.
And then on to the 9 Paris Accord, who is your favorite at the moment at 2-1. You do get the leading rider, Christian Torres, but it's not like she's run so much faster than anybody that I would feel comfortable hanging my hat there.
Last time out, it was sort of a merry-go-round race up front, better on paper than what it was to me, finishing kind of a default second where it kind of just dragged her along. I feel like it was fake improvement as the winner controlled. She does have that experience. I will say, Ernie Witt, I feel like it's kind of a continuing pattern that his horses carry that big flesh, lots of condition to them. So I always kind of want to see their horses a little bit more fit as she does tackle start number 9.
As a 5-year-old mare, maiden, looking to get it done as your favorite here. I went with the first-time starter in number 6, Lady Bell, who seems to have cooled off on the board. Let's go up to Matt Dinham in the call of the nightcap.
Cord in the black jacket, 2 back. Highway 70 in the orange. Hand to the outside, She's Our Daffodil rounds out the group. She's Our Daffodil coming up to the outside post. We're ready to go in the finale And they're off in the nightcap. Lady Bell, the first-time starter, got away okay. There's a lineup on the lead. Highway 70. She's our Daffodil on the far outside. Jack's Gal, the gray, not far off down the back stretch. There's 4 of them across the track. Lady Bell inside comes to skim the inside and grab a short lead here. Highway 70 is between horses. Jack's Gal 3 wide. She's our Daffodil on the far outside with Paris Accord right behind them, pushed upon already while getting to the rail as they go into the far turn. Gap of 4 to Air Castle as they corner into that turn. Lady Bell around the far turn opens up the lead to 2, gives the others something to think about here. Lady Bell 2.5 lengths ahead as they round the far turn. Highway 70 in second. She's our Daffodil to the outside of her. Paris Accord in the 4th position, getting to the outside for the stretch drive. Lady Bell, let's see what she's got for the final quarter mile. Leads the charge coming off the turn. Cuts the corner, leads by 2. In the second spot is Jack Scout chasing with determination. Far outside, Air Castle's trying to kick it in. Paris Accord is beaten, and Lady Bell just opened up. Eric Asmussen said go, and she went away from the competition like it was nothing. Lady Bell, a daughter of Leo Frick, well-conditioned. Danny Pish with 2 wins today with 2 first-time starters. Lady Bell over Air Castle, Paris Accord, and Jack's Gal.
Well, you wanted a stranger in this group, and the stranger was actually very good. Lady Bell sauntered away from this field and won quite easily. Wound up drifting up to 6-1, Megan.
This was nuts. It wasn't a very good field whatsoever, but man, I mean, got to the lead. That's exactly what you want to do in these type of cheaper races where horses don't really want to pass late. Air Castle just did not really do a whole lot of running in the early stages, trying to grab a distant second, but it was all the first-time starter. I don't believe Danny Pish has won with a debut in a maiden claimer race in at least 5 years, and he has had 2 first-time starters win today.
Well, maybe he's turned over a new leaf here, getting these first-timers ready. This filly was professional as the other one was, showed good speed. Eric Asmussen rode her with a lot of confidence, and when he asked her for her best, she ran away from this field. A nice effort by this daughter of Leah Frick, and gets it done. Lady Bell, Mary is a producer, now has produced 6 winners and 2 debut winners, and that's something I always look for in pedigrees.
For sure, and I don't find she'll probably get claimed out of this group, just judging from a lower level claimer. First-time starter, I think she'll hopefully be safe. We'll see, we'll update you if she is claimed, but runaway performance, very professional, and Danny Pish with a great day.
Yeah, really good day for Danny Pish, and this Arkansas daughter of Leo Frick gets it done. Lady Bell. We'll be taking a quick timeout. We'll be heading back to the desk at Aqueduct. I think we have still some turf paradise to go.
This weekend on America's Day at the Races. Saturday, catch Aqueduct's Gotham, a Kentucky Derby prep, plus Lafitte Pincay and Maggie Wolfendale live from Oaklawn Park for the Razorback Handicap.
And they're off in the Razorback.
Then Sunday, special coverage of Oaklawn's Rebel, a key Derby prep, and the Honeybee is a prep for the Kentucky Oaks. Saturday's coverage begins on Fox Business Channel 3:30 p.m. Eastern, Sunday 2 p.m. Eastern on FS2. Join analysts Matthew DeSantis and Kaylee Shapiro on the road to the Kentucky Derby and Kentucky Oaks. Get picks and analysis for all the prep races and gain insight into promising contenders on the trail to the Derby and Oaks. That and more on the Naira Bets YouTube channel. The Belmont Stakes Racing Festival returns for the final time to historic Saratoga Racecourse. Don't miss the Belmont Festival at Saratoga. June 3rd through 7th. Secure your place in history at BelmontStakes.com.
New York breds. Race them.
Respect them.
Bet them.
Respect them.
Breed them.
Respect them.
Buy them.
Respect them.
Train them for a second career.
Respect them. Join us in respecting thoroughbreds at every stage of life. Learn more at nybreds.com.
Racetrack Television Network brings you every race, from every track, on every screen, every day. With monthly packages starting as low as $5, RTN gives you great value and access to more live HD streaming and race replays than anyone. Visit RTN.tv today to sign up and watch on almost any device, including Roku and Amazon Fire. RTN has packages that start at $5 per month.
Back with you on our Thursday coverage, rolling down the hallway at the hotel on track there in Hot Springs.
That's actually Mig getting ready for the show. You know, a little late.
Yes.
Rushing. We put the helmet cam on him.
And a little pop through the casino.
No stopping at all.
Of course not.
Fooling around at those tables. Got work to do.
Because the real money to be made is right through these doors.
There you go. Whoa.
At the paddock.
Wow.
And there you are.
That was good.
Right
I like that. That was really good.
Here's your winner to close things out. Danny Pish, 2 first-time starter winners on this card today.
Big day, and I was saying to you, this horse was totally dead of the board. Iced up, $15. Horse won like he should have paid $40. I mean, I know it's a first-time starter, but it wasn't a particularly strong field going in. Went to the front and just destroyed the field. No doubt about it.
Look back from Eric Asmussen, and yeah, you are home free, young man. Brienne's earlier with a lot of win early pedigree, and now this one, Lady Bell for Danny Pish.
Yeah, getting it done. This horse went to the front. The other one actually broke well, but ended up rating from the inside and winning. An impressive win there.
$15.20 for the victory.
And now the race you've been waiting for, the 4.5 furlong race.
Let's see the pick 5 here.
Did we show? We didn't even show the cross country, right?
We're gonna turn the page.
That ended in the 8th race there. The cross country pick 5 pay here.
I'll look it up myself. The pick 5 paid $6,925.
Really?
Yeah, not bad.
You know what the cross country pick 5 paid?
What?
$13,819. There was that big price. I think that 24-to-1 shot was in there.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow.
To Turf Paradise, going to be our last live race of the program. This is 4.5 furlongs, as you mentioned. $4,000 condition claiming race, 4-year-olds and up. And 6-5 favorite is the 5.
Well, first
Stretch
of all,
run.
you left out the rider change.
Yeah, Adrian Castellanos on Too Tall to Call the 4.
I got to tell you, I'm with the public, though. I think the 3 and 5 are somewhat comparable in their chances. I think the 3 is the value here. But the 5 does have the consistent, faster figs. And does come out of 2 second-place finishes, not at a short, but as the favorite at 4.5 furlongs. Probably the 4.5 furlong specialist is the one on the outside, right, coming in from Los Alamitos. It's not run since October, but that horse has run consistent races, but is not a winning type with 5 wins in 12 seconds.
A good rematch, though, with the 2. Gonna Get You Good, who was only a length behind Stretch Run when they met on January 28th last time out, so they'll go at each other again here.
And I think 5-to-1 is a very generous price and going to get you good, considering how close that horse was, just a length behind Stretch Run.
And you have the 3 sandwiched in between with the drop in class.
Yeah, I kind of liked Halo Uncle cutting back a little bit. A horse that is running quarter horse races, so can run in shorter races. And I think as the second choice at 5-2, I'd rather take that horse than the 5, who is the horse to beat Stretch Run.
Race 6, Turf Paradise. Vic Stauffer with the call.
Halo Uncle and Tis Grazin'. The last 2 to load are Too Tall to Call and Sonic Breeze. Too Tall to Call is ready. Here's Sonic Breeze to the outside. They're at the post. They're off. Stretch Run and Too Tall to Call shows speed. Halo Uncle is at the rail. Groovy Huey is in the mix as well, and they go into the far turn with Gonna Get You Good, gonna move through at the rail and join Too Tall to Call. So Gonna Get You Good is the leader. On neck to Too Tall to Call in second. Stretch Run, the 10-year-old's in good striking position, 3rd and 2 from the front. Then comes Groovy Huey, followed by More Tequila and Sonic Breeze. Tis Grazin', and the trailer is Halo Uncle, and the leader is Gonna Get You Good. Gonna Get You Good gets away at the top of the stretch. He's got a 2-length lead on Stretch Run, who now begins to come after him, and here's Stretch Run, the veteran. Gonna run right alongside and right on by Gonna Get You Good and Stretch Run. Look at him strutting stuff. The old man, the 10-year-old. Stretch Run in charge. Stretch Run won by 3.5. Gonna Get You Good was second. Too Tall to Call third. Tis Grazin' finished fourth.
10-year-old, yeah, winning for the 9th time in his career for the Jorge Maravilla barn. And, yeah, you still can run at 10 and be successful.
Yes, yeah. Well, that's not a rule that I would have made. I think the 10-year-olds are the ones that know how to take care of themselves. They get there. They're not ones that you worry about. And this time, Gonna Get You Good was behind them in second, but not close this time.
Stretch Run is the favorite. Yeah, 9th career victory. Been a little while since that one had visited the winner's circle. New York, we hope you join us on Saturday. Early stakes action, as we mentioned earlier, on the road to the Oaks. Then we have the Gotham. Tom Fool, Stymie in between. Loaded card this weekend.
A lot of very big, the favorites in both the Busher and Tom Fool, trained by none other than Tom Morley.
Yeah, the Busher
for him.
Interstate Love Song. Beat a neck in the Ruthless. Going to take a lot of attention.
And I put away my Saturday, but the one he's got, what 911?
1-900.
1-900.
Yeah.
That horse's last race
Very
was
exciting
powerful.
horse.
That horse, I'm going to tell you something. That horse has a chance to be one of the better sprinters in the country. It's early in the year. He's got to pass the test there, but that horse has a lot of promise.
Meanwhile, pretty good older horse stake coming up over the weekend in Hot Springs as well. We're going to send it back to the crew at Oaklawn. Magnitude returning, but could have some real competition.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm a big Magnitude fan, but I'll tell you something, guys. New what's new? That horse's last 2 races are giant.
They've been sensational, and the buyer figures backed it up. 2 triple-digit buyer figures. Quickly about the Tom Fool 1-900, another Joseph Migliori bloodstock purchase. He had a stakes winner at Santa Anita on Saturday, and now 1-900 is the favorite going into the Tom Fool. But Magnitude's very good. It's his first start off of the layoff. His Clark was really good. Didn't he use the Clark as the kind of coming out party for Gunrunner, who had shown ability like, Magnitude? But that was when he kind of really found himself.
An eerily similar trail that Gunrunner faced. He was a 3rd in the Travers Gunrunner. Then he incrementally got better in the PA Derby. Then he won the Clark. Magnitude, of course, the first 3-year-old winner to win that race since Gunrunner back in 2016. So is he going to be the next Gunrunner? Let's just take a breath before we get there. But this is a pretty good group here. Magnitude coming off of the bench. I thought he looked great when I saw him in the flesh in the morning here, and he was so game. He showed a new dimension as he kind of maybe given the impression, Mig, of a one-dimensional speed horse, but was very game to clinch this Clark.
Yeah, it was kind of my impression of him. The fact that, his best races were when he just kind of freewheeled along. I mean, his Risen Star was a tour de force. His comeback in the Iowa Derby. So I wasn't sure that he'd be able to do this without dominating the competition early, but he rated just off the leader. Hit Show, by the way, who went on to do some pretty good things in Saudi Arabia, if I'm not mistaken.
He's a pretty good horse, I think, Hit Show. Of course, your Saudi Cup winner. But he does face the likes of what Andy and Greg had mentioned. What's new is the new face on the scene. He's the now horse coming off of 2 tour de force performances on the front end, utilizing his speed comfortably. He faces a much tougher assignment in this spot. His races here at Oaklawn have been absolutely nowhere near what he ran as a maiden last year. Really unlocking a new key here. Likes it, obviously. Jimmy DeVito looking for his first graded stakes victory at Oaklawn in the past 5 years, and he looks to be tough. But I wonder, Mig, what's it going to look like on the front end for him with pressure from a horse like Magnitude?
Well, it'll be a lot to do with tactics, right? What's new. He's the new shooter. I always found, it was my experience, if I let a horse like that roll out of there and basically let everybody know I want the lead, they'll sit back off of you a little bit, and that's how you get to control things. And Jimmy DeVito's been winning races for as long as I can remember, a kingpin around the Chicago circuit for years. But, guys, a starting off point for Magnitude. It'll be interesting to see what he looks like as a 4-year-old.
Yeah, look, this is a horse who didn't get to compete on the Triple Crown Trail, ran a race that would have made him probably one of the favorites. Got injured, came back, ran just as fast, and then maybe just got rushed a little bit coming back.
Well, this idiot picked him in the Travers, so I'm not going to shy away from that. I don't hide from my bad opinions. I agree. I don't think, Meg's talking about the speed. I don't think Steve wants to be as aggressive with him. It seems like, the way he ran in the Clark, but also the Pennsylvania Derby, he showed he's not a one-dimensional horse. So I don't think they want to go with what's new out there. I think they're hoping they can beat him just on the fair and square. And I know there had been some talk of going to Dubai, depending on what happens here. I'll believe it when I see it. I would imagine they'd stick around for the Oaklawn handicap. It's is he going to really go to Dubai's 27 days from there? I think it's the end of March.
End of March.
I'll see it. He's good, though, but I wonder.
See if he is going to truly be a main player in this older horse division in 2026. There's a starting point coming up over the weekend. Back at Turf Paradise, Stretch Run. With the victory, this 10-year-old, again, the 9th win of his career, and returns $3.80 for the victory. Going to get you good. The rematch beats him again.
You got $5.20 for $1 on the exacta as well. We're pretty much done. A lot of action.
We are.
Today.
Hope you enjoyed it. We had a lot going on this afternoon. We are back tomorrow on FS2 at 3. So we got a short show tomorrow, 3 to 4 Eastern. Hope to see you then. It was Shoot the Nickel. Really the only horse we saw come from off the pace, beating a stablemate, Social Hour, with a rare upset on this Thursday card from New York. Brienne's first-time starter out at Oaklawn. One of 2 first-time starters to win for Danny Pish. Dan was a first-out winner. Second Dan was as well, and so was Brienne's. We'll see you tomorrow, 3 Eastern.